All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. We'll pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? So hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. Let's go to Isaiah 66 and 18. For their works and their thoughts it shall come, that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my esteem. Will I set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, Tarshish, Pool, and Lud, that draw the bow, Tubal and Javan, the isles afar off that have not heard my fame. Neither have they seen my esteem, and they shall declare my esteem among the Gentiles. And they shall bring all your brethren an offering unto Yahuwah out of all nations, upon horses and chariots, and in litters, upon mules, upon swift beasts, to my Kadash, Mount Jerusalem, saith Yahuwah, as the sons of Yasharal bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yahuwah. And I will also take of them for priests, for Levites, saith Yahuwah. For as the new Shamahim and the new Arats which I shall make shall remain before me, saith Yahuwah, so shall your seed and your name remain. It shall come to pass from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahuwah. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. They shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Let's come back over here to Jeremiah 33, man, verse 15. 33 and 15.
It say, in those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this wherewith she shall be called, Yahuwah our righteousness.
So he's saying those days, say, get me Ezekiel 38 and 4. We're just looking at the fact that he says that Jerusalem, before you do that, get me Zechariah 14, man. E-boy were arguing about this here the other day about the people in the land right now. Yeah, 14.
Behold, the day of Yahuwah come, and your spoil shall be divided in the midst of you. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken.
Gather all nations of Jerusalem to do what?
To battle.
To do what?
Battle. And the city shall be taken, and the house is rifled, and the women ravaged.
Y'all remember what that means for the women to be ravaged, right? I mean, the women going to be sexually assaulted. Go on here, Civic. Come over here to Revelation 17, man. Give me verse 10. Shalom, Quran, man.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, the other is not yet come. And when he come, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and go into perdition. And the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings, which you have received no kingdom as yet.
Oh, you got to talk louder than that.
But receive power as kings, as 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb.
They shall do what?
Make war with the Lamb.
And what else?
And the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they are with him, called and chosen and faithful. And he say unto me, the waters which you saw, where the whores sit, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Now what he said though? He said they gonna make war with the who?
Beast.
No.
Or they gonna make war with the Lamb.
Yeah, and that means he gathering all the nations. Give me Joel chapter 3, man. Verse 10.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let weak say, I'm strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. There cause thy mighty one to come down, O Yahuwah. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there I was set to judge all the heathen round about.
See, the individual brother we're talking about, that's Zechariah 14. That ain't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? All these people gonna gather up to come battle. Where you was at before that, sis? Before Revelation 17.
Zechariah 14.
Go back to Zechariah 14, man.
Or back in verse 2.
Go ahead, verse 2.
For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
When he fought in the day of what?
Of battle.
What day of battle is this? What day of battle is this?
Is that Revelation what it says?
How he gonna be in Revelation when he said he gonna fight like as in the day of battle? That particular Zechariah is talking about when he come back. We should know that from verse 6 or 7 when it said it'd be a day known unto Yahuwah. So this battle of Yahuwah at the end is reminiscent of a battle that he has already fought once before. Read that again.
Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle.
I want you to get me Revelation 19:10. Is it 19:10? No, it's 19:15. I want y'all to slow your mind down and think. He said that Yahuwah gonna fight against these nations who he's gathering up against Jerusalem to battle, and he gonna fight them as in the day of battle. Revelation 19:15.
It said, out of his mouth goes the sharp sword, and that he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he that treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty Elohim. And he that hath the vesture on his thigh, a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw Malachim standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying,
Hey, y'all making too much noise.
To all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Elohim, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all, free and bond, small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and the false prophet that wrought miracles before them, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone.
That's good. Shalom, brother Reynolds, brother Ellis. So, what is this day of battle? He said he gonna fight these people like the day of battle. Read it again, Civic. Zechariah 14:4 or 14:3.
Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought, and his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which before Jerusalem
He
on the
gonna fight
east.
against these people as he fought in the day of battle. So, what's that day of battle he talking about?
You talking about the angel?
What you say? What you say? You ain't say that like you mean that, cuz. See if you give me Exodus 15:1.
Then sang Moses and the children of Yasharal this song unto Yahuwah, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahuwah, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. Yahuwah, my strength and song.
Like Yahuwah is your what?
Strength and song.
What else?
And he became my salvation.
He became what?
Salvation.
Go ahead.
He is my Elohim, and I prepare him a habitation.
You prepared what?
A habitation.
You prepared what?
A habitation.
Give me John 14 and 23. We're going to see an Exodus 15 going to help you out. Boy, you're looking like you're in high school, boy, with sweatpants on. You look like you didn't want to stand up in math class because you were having bad thoughts.
I appreciate the compliment.
That ain't had nothing to do with your physical appearance. That had strictly to do with your attire. Nigga, you still is young. No, not because, because chronologically. This nigga ain't even 30. That nigga said, my name is Johnny. I like sports. I eat cereal for snacks. So you don't eat cereal for snacks no more. Kickboxing got you like that? Because you didn't look like you lost damn bit of weight.
Nah. I thought I lost some weight.
Well, you must have put some muscle on with it because you look the same. I ain't being fun. I'm dead serious. I'm saying you must have put some muscle on with it. I ain't saying you looking fat. I'm because they don't look like you lost no weight. Look like you've been lifting too. Damn. Like kickboxing must work the muscles well then. I could believe it. Just because a nigga losing weight don't mean you look like you lose weight. But you can put on some ass. Tavon said that the other day, said you look like you lean down. I'm like, so I weight the same.
You do look like
Yeah, I weigh the same. Yeah, but my weight is the same. I'm still 253, 255.
Also do way more than fat.
That's why I said that. Women weight, that junk fall off them. They don't have that much muscle. That's why I fall off them. Come on, man.
Yeah, John 14.
John 14 and 23.
It say, Yahushua answered and said, if a man love me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and we will make our abode with him. And he
Make our what?
Our abode with him.
Mm-hmm.
He that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings.
Pause. See this here, right? You got to prepare. He say, now Yahushua talking about he preparing the habitation for him, but you got to prepare one too. I think it's what, 2 Timothy? Chapter 2, verse 10. No, go ahead and verse 14. You can read verse 10, it don't matter. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10.
Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua HaMashiach with eternal esteem. A faithful saying, if we be dead with, we shall also live with.
If we suffer,
we shall also reign with.
If we deny,
he also will deny us.
If we believe not,
he abide faithful.
He cannot
deny himself.
Of these things,
put in remembrance,
charging
before Yahuwah,
that you strive not about
words to no profit,
to the subverting of the hearer. See, that's what a lot of brews don't understand. They argue a lot with words that have no benefit or no profit. Continue.
With the 2 Timothy?
Yep.
Study to show yourself approved unto Elohim, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
See, somebody mentioned this the other day. Always mention, study it. That ain't talking to you. Now, this is the key thing, right? How would you know? What would you go to look at to show somebody who is the workman? Because he said the workman don't need to be ashamed. Give him the word workman in Greek.
That's ergates, a workman, a laborer.
A laborer. So what would you go in? Shalom, Brother Francis. Now, we just talked about this the other day, last night and Wednesday. That laboring in the word ain't always dealing with preaching. But in this particular passage, that's what it's talking about. Hey, give me study.
I was saying one of the definitions say figuratively it's a teacher.
I already know. You know what I'm saying? Give me a study in the Greek.
Spadadzo, that is to hasten, to make haste, to exert oneself, to give diligence.
To give diligence. So he say give diligence to show yourself approved. Give him approved by definition. You better be paying attention, not playing with that baby.
The chemos, accepted, pleasing, acceptable.
So now you have to be diligent to prove that you are pleasing and acceptable as a teacher that need not give him a shame by definition.
That is having no cause to be ashamed.
Rightly divide. Now we have to take our time and delineate all of these things. So give me Ezra 7:7. 7 and 5, actually.
And there's thus says Yahuwah Elohim, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, and the end is come. It watches for thee. Behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee. O that dwelleth in the land, the time is come.
Because you don't talk to him.
It said, the rest of the nations whom the great and noble as Napar brought over the set to the cities of Samaria, and the rest on the side of the river, and at such time. This the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king, the servants and men on the side of the river at that such time. Be it known unto the king that the Yahudim which came up from us to us are the rebellious and the bad city.
No, we need it's Nehemiah. This is Nehemiah 7:5. Because that don't sound like what we do.
He said 77.
No, I say go back to 7:5.
75. It say the son of Shuba, the son of Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was a ready scribe in the Torah of Moses.
He was a what?
A ready scribe, which Yahuwah Elohim of Yahshua had given.
Go ahead and give him ready. Y'all should know what a ready scribe is by definition. You may not know the word, but you should know it by definition. Ready scribe in Hebrew is what? Give him ready.
But here,
what characters do you have?
Mem, Hay, and Raj.
So you got Mem, Hay, and Raj. So what do you have? You are beholding the teachings or the ruach of the leader, of the chief. That's what you're seeing. Maybe you've experienced the ruach of the chief. But either way it go, how do you experience the ruach of the chief? Because how can you believe on him whom you have not heard? And how can you hear without a preacher? And how can they preach except they be sent? Give me John 13-20 with Hayes. Sid.
Truly, truly, I say unto you,
What he say?
He that receive whomsoever I send, receive me.
Receive whoever what?
I send.
Receive whoever you send.
I send.
Whoever the people want.
Whoever I send.
Whoever decide they want to preach.
Whoever I send.
Go ahead.
Receive me, and he that receive me, receive him that sent me.
That's what people see. This is what people get to get. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked y'all that last night on what is your perspective of being able to tell if somebody got the pack or not. Because I don't care what nobody say. This man send people. You just don't decide that you want to be a preacher. You know, everybody say, God got a calling on my life. Who called you, nigga? Because you lying. And guess what? Just because people agree with you, just because a whole bunch of people are listening to you, does not mean God is with you. And it does not mean that he co-signing what they doing. How you know? See, give me Acts 5, man. Acts 5:25, man. Just tell me what verse 25 say. Acts 5:25.
Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom you put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people.
The men that you did what?
Put in prison.
They doing what?
Teaching the people.
That's right.
Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned.
You know what? You know, yesterday somebody read that Exodus 20, man, and straight jacked it up. Talking about God gonna teach everybody, and they read the verse where it say, man, Moses, you talk to us. Don't let Yahuwah talk to us unless we die. Nigga said that means God supposed to teach everybody. That's not what they asked for. We done went through this too many times, so y'all know that. The Lord could have taught all us, but your forefathers were scared and said, nah, let Moses do it. That's over with. Man, I don't know where people get this from. You know what I'm talking about? And again, this ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all need to, I'm telling you this here for people who run up and tell you that, and you can, and it's plain and obvious. They don't know what the hell they be talking about. Leave me here, them niggas dumb as hell ain't the league. Nigga disrespected Lee the other day, man. You believe that? You know what Lee told them people? She said, I don't understand why you women want to teach so bad. They told her, go to your husband and come back with an answer. You mad because she got one? For real, they really said that to her because these women were pressing that. And she wasn't saying it in a disrespectful way. She was like, why do y'all want to teach so bad? Because if you would have heard these women's voices, I mean, they were pressing for that. We got something to say. Y'all trying to stifle our voices. And then when you actually hear them teach, they ain't got nothing to say. Do they say anything of note, Lee? They don't say nothing. I told you a dude asked him, if God sent you to teach, what doctrine you teaching? And they had none. Now, that was a good question to ask anybody. If you want to know if a man or a woman, if they got some word, what's your doctrine? If somebody asks you what your doctrine, how you going to respond? See, a nigga asked me that, and they know my doctrine is the faith in Yahushua and set apart living. That's what my doctrine is. What's yours? Oh, that we the people of the book. You ain't got. That's not what he told you to sell. Yahuwah ain't selling that. He ain't putting nobody on the block and selling that. But see, some people will get you with just certain catchphrases. You know what I'm talking about? But they really don't know the word like that. You got to be careful, right? You know what I'm talking about? Niggas will tell you self-sufficiency and love and this and that, but they don't really got no word, though. Oh, everybody come with love. Everybody come with a little agape. You know what I'm talking about? Brotherly love, brother. The love. What's the love? You know what I'm talking about? Whole time. You know what I'm saying? Niggas smoking crack in the back. Got 2, 3 hoes touching their toes. It's all type of stuff going on. But you actually have to know the word. You understand? You got to be listening for his voice and not get caught up on people. Because like I said, just because people listen to a dude, just because a whole bunch of people follow somebody, don't mean Yahuwah is with that and going along with it and stamping it. Come on, Sid.
When they had brought them, they sat before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did we not straightly command you that you should not teach in his name, teach in this name? And behold,
that's right.
You have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine.
With your what?
With your doctrine.
With your what?
Your
so
doctrine.
They already knew what their doctrine was. They knew the apostle doctrine was Yahushua crucified and resurrected. Because they say you keep teaching in this man's name, you filling up the city with his blood. Come on, man.
And intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Elohim rather than men.
That's right.
The Elohim of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom you slew and hanged on a tree.
That's right.
Him have Elohim exalted with his right hand.
A prince.
And a savior.
For to give.
Repentance to Yasharal.
And forgiveness.
Of sins.
See, that's what our doctrine is. Go ahead.
And we are as witnesses of these things.
So is.
Also the Ruach HaKadosh.
Whom Elohim.
Has given to them that obey him.
Listen to what Gamaliel finna say. When they heard.
They were cut to the heart.
They were cut where?
To the heart.
Cut where?
To the heart.
And see, it just say cut. Remember how we were talking about that Wednesday and said that word picture? Come on, man.
And took counsel to slay them.
Now they want to kill him.
Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel,
a doctor
of the law,
had in reputation
among all the people,
and commanded
to put the apostles forth.
And he was a doctor in the law. That means this man was skilled. Give him doctor in Greek. Y'all children doing a lot moving around. I sure hope you're not eating in my hallway.
That is a teacher and interpreter of the law.
That's a teacher, interpreter of the law. He's an instructor. He's a scribe. We still holding Ezra 7. Come on, man. You in verse 35.
And said unto them, you men of Yasharal, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men.
For before
these days
rose up through this,
boasting himself to be somebody.
He was doing what?
Boasting himself to be somebody.
He was doing what?
Boasting himself to be somebody.
To whom a number
of men,
about how many?
400,
joined themselves.
Who were slain.
What happened to them?
They were slain.
And all,
as many as obeyed
was
him,
scattered
and brought to nothing.
See, that's a dangerous thing right there. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of people following that person, and they thought he had some work. Go ahead.
After this man rose up Judas.
Of where?
Galilee.
In the days of when?
Taxing.
He drew how many people away?
Much people.
After him.
He also perished.
He died.
And all, as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
They were dispersed also. Listen to him.
And now I say unto you,
refrain
from these men.
Let them alone.
For if this counsel or this work be of men,
it'll come to nothing. See, this is what some people say. Well, why TD Jakes and the camps keep going? You ain't never thought to yourself, this man leading people going so he could send them to hell. Because he didn't get rid of all the scribes and Pharisees when he was walking the earth. Left them there. See, this was where y'all get the game twisted at. Y'all feel like because somebody is a false teacher or whatever you might believe them to be, that they should be stopped immediately. That man gonna stop them when he want to stop them. Remember, he said, you let that prophet Jezebel teach in my synagogue. Ain't that what he told? Get him Revelation 2:17. Listen to him. Get that up off. Get that up off. Get that up off, man.
It said, he that have ear, let him hear what the Ruach said to the assembly. To him that overcome, I will give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone.
Or 2 and 20.
It said, notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou hast suffered that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication.
She doing what?
Seducing my servants.
She doing what before that? What's she doing?
She's called herself a prophetess.
But what was she doing?
To teach.
Oh, she was doing what?
To teach.
And she was what she was doing?
Seduce.
So this the thing. This the issue, right? See, she say she a prophetess. But see, this is the thing. If she a prophetess, she ain't got no business teaching. Not because she's a woman, because prophets don't teach. We had to straighten the stupid bastard about that the other day. You said prophetess. That's different from a prophet. Go jump in the toilet. It's the same thing. It's a different word with the same job.
What he said, the different word.
Because a prophetess don't do what a prophet is. I'm like, bro. I said, yeah, man, you ain't got no female apostles, man. I said, but we can't say you ain't got no female prophets, bro. I'm like, bro, you got Miriam, you got Deborah, you got Huldah, you got Anna, you got Isaiah's wife. And usually in the text, the thing with prophetess that it alludes to is that a woman who is a prophetess, usually her husband is a prophet also. Do you know what I'm talking about? Now, is that always necessarily the case? No. But a lot of times, by definition, a prophetess that had that in there, that she's usually married to a prophet herself. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I was trying to explain to these people at this particular time is, which y'all already know, is that individuals think every office has the same title. Same operation. See, y'all should remember when we were looking at the Levites, who came up with the courses? David did. And what did he come up with? Each course had a different operation of duty. So somebody on the 3rd course did not do the same work as somebody on the 6th course. So, of course, we know that when we look at 1 Corinthians 12 and we see self-same Ruach, different operations. A prophet doesn't do what an apostle does. You know what I'm talking about? But a prophet also doesn't do what a pastor does. But a pastor doesn't necessarily do what an evangelist does, but yet they can still do the same thing. So my point of that was this here, which y'all already know sitting in the room. A teacher teaches the word. An evangelist teaches the word. A pastor teaches the word. A prophet speaks of future events. An apostle is taught directly of the revelation of Yahushua from Elohim, therefore outranking all those who were just mentioned. What you got in Romans 12? So I can know the verse and we can read what you're talking about. So it's different operations. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody don't do the same thing. And then, of course, we mentioned what a judge does. A judge doesn't teach at all. A judge satisfies controversy. You understand? So I ain't mentioning this to kick people in the behind. You need to know that. If somebody come tell you they a prophet and they opening up the text and they telling you, and you ask them, oh, you a pastor too? And they say no, then you know this nigga's not a prophet. Nowhere with their prophet did you see them open up any book and read it to you. When you seen when they stepped to Huldah, did she open up the book of the law and read it to him? Or did she say, thus saith Yahuwah, this is what's going to happen to y'all? Do y'all know why they came to Huldah? Because they found the book of the law in the temple because they had forsaken Yahuwah and they seen they were in violation and they want to know what Yahuwah was going to do. So they went and found Huldah and Huldah told them what Yahuwah was going to do. You understand? Now see, when you look at Moses, Moses held multiple offices. But Aaron was a high priest. Did you see him prophesying? You only see them do it one time, if you know. And that's in Numbers 5. You know what I'm talking about? Miriam was a prophetess, but did you see her opening up the text? How many times did you see Jeremiah open up the text? He was a prophet. But guess what? Ezekiel was a prophet, and what else? So he could open up the text because he was not only a prophet, he was high priest. How many times you seen Nahum open up the text? What about Amos? Do you remember what Amos told them people? Say, man, I ain't no prophet, nor am I a son of one. Because usually, if your daddy was a prophet, Yahuwah would usually pass that down to you. Guess what? Solomon was a prophet. How many times you seen him open up the text? What about David? So people say stuff, man. Let me see what Romans 12 was just put on here, man. I think I know what verse she probably referring to. That's right, 12 and 4. Romans 12 and 4. Come on. Excuse me.
It says, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same.
Everybody don't have the same job. See, the problem with people, this is how you know people unlearned, because they thinking everybody got the same job, or every job carries the same word. So let me tell you something, right? An apostle goes about preaching the word and actually ordain shepherds and bishops to actually open up congregations so that the people can be taught. That's what they do. So apostles actually appoint pastors, evangelists, and teachers to minister in places after they depart. Because see, remember, right? The whole world didn't have what them 12 men had. So they had to go from city to city, teaching these people this and then ordaining men in order for them to teach the word once they were gone. You know what I'm talking about? But a prophet don't do none of that. And a prophet, a woman could be a prophet. That's not an issue. You know what I'm talking about? See, the thing where we get into it, where we know a woman can't be a pastor, an evangelist, or a teacher, is for no other reason than the qualifications for the job that's laid out. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with no personal thoughts or feelings. There's a qualification for the job. You know how many people, I know some of y'all know, you know how many people don't even know his qualifications for the job? And these people say they teach the word. I don't care who a nigga is. If that nigga on Clubhouse call himself teaching and he's saying he a minister, he got to qualify for the job. I don't care what you say. That means when you pop over in 1 Timothy 3, he got to line up with that. He got to line up with that. There's no way around that. It's just, oh, no, there's a calling on my life, brother. There's a calling on my life, brother. Shalom, Sister Kelly. Yeah, bro. It's his qualifications, bro. What's going on, Dave, man? It's qualifications. If you're gonna minister the words, you gotta fit the job. This is and when they say office, that means literally in Hebrew, it's gonna tell you that's an occupation. That's a business, that's a job, that's a work. How many jobs y'all ever had where you ain't have to have certain qualifications to get the job? The only job you don't need qualifications at is McDonald's. Need to think you that's when they hit you with, you who are qualified to qualify. Get your stupid behind out of here, man. Them doggone church sayings, man. That man qualified, you get hired once you qualify. See, he choose a man and then he get him prepared to do that work. You know what I'm talking about? And to do that work, you got to line up. Man, what 1 Timothy 3 say a pastor can't be? I ain't talking about the blameless part. I'm talking about on the teaching part. Can't be a novice. Anybody who say they're going to be a pastor, you got to be skilled. So guess what that means? The minister got to be, a.k.a. the deacon. He got to be skilled. Guess what that means? The evangelist got to be. He got to be skilled. That means an apostle, that goes without saying. So that means everybody who teach the word, guess what they got to be, Lil John? They got to be skilled. There's no way around that. That's not no private interpretation. That's not our personal opinion. So these are the things that y'all have to pay attention to when you out and about and you hear people talking. Come on, good sir. Oh, was you reading verse 4? Or was I reading? We'll read Romans. Yeah, come on. Read Romans 12 and 4 one more time.
It says, for we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office.
That's right.
So we many are one body in Mashiach.
That's right.
And every one member is one of another.
That's right.
having then gifts different according to the grace that is given.
So he say the gifts are different according to the mercy, shalom, that Yahuwah give. Listen to him.
Whether prophecy.
Whether what?
Prophecy.
Let us what?
Let us prophesy according to the proportion of.
So if he give you prophecy, he say let you spit that prophecy according to how much you believe in Yahuwah. Listen to the thing he say.
Or ministry.
See, that's not ministry like we say, like that's teaching. Because guess what? The next verse behind that, the next words behind that gonna let you know that. So ministry here is serving. So he say, remember we talked about that last night. Mother Sharona mentioned that. What are one of the gifts of the Ruach or one of the administrations in 1 Corinthians 12? It was what? Helps, which is service. Go ahead, man. Verse 7.
It said ministry, let us wait on our ministry.
Or he that
teach.
On what?
Teaching.
And he that exhort.
On exhortation.
And he that give.
Do it with simplicity.
He that rule.
With diligence.
He that show mercy.
With cheerfulness.
Love be without.
Dissimulation.
Abhor.
Which is evil.
Cleave.
Which is good.
Kindly.
Affectionate.
One to another.
Brotherly love.
In honor.
Preferring one another.
Not slothful.
In business.
Fervent.
In spirit.
Serving.
Yahuwah.
Rejoicing.
Patient in tribulation. And hope.
Patient.
In tribulation.
Continuing.
Instant in prayer.
Distributing.
To the necessity of saints.
Giving the hospitality.
Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not.
Rejoice.
With them that do rejoice.
And weep.
With them that weep.
Of the same.
Mind
one toward
another.
Mind not.
High things.
But condescend.
To men of low estate.
Be not wise.
In your own conceit.
And recompense.
No man evil for evil.
Provide.
Honest in the sight of all men.
If it be possible.
As much as lieth in you.
Live peaceably with all men. So go back, listen to the thing that he said, right? Number one, he said, don't be slothful and bitter. So if you have an occupation in the body, stop being a lazy bastard. You know what I'm talking about? That's one of the things that he stated. Then he say, with pure fervence in the Ruach, serve the Lord. He say, be kindly affectionate. Do you see how it say preferring one another? See, that go back to what we were talking about, what's in Galatians, man, or Ephesians, that the men's supposed to submit to one another. Not preferring one to say, see, you know what a lot of individuals do? They put people on pedestals. See, I'm going to tell you what happens when you put somebody on a pedestal. That's not the person's fault who you put on a pedestal. That's your fault. And you know why it's your fault? Because you're going to create expectations that person had nothing to do with, that they could never be able to keep, because these are illusions that you created in your own mind for this person to meet. You know what I'm saying? And unbeknownst to them, you done created this in your brain, and they'll never be able to meet them. And then now you're going to have resentment against them and Yahuwah because they couldn't meet a standard that you created for them that ain't had nothing to do with them. You know what I'm talking about? And people do that all the time, more in the natural sense. Why you think a lot of dudes get upset with some women they be dealing with when the women turn out to be this, that, there, and the third, because you put that woman up here. You know what I'm talking about? So because you put her up here, she ain't never going to be able to meet that. Because these are the things that you created. You know what I'm talking about? But most people do that with people who teach the word, or people do it with celebrities. What do people say about celebrities? Don't meet your heroes and all this other type of stuff, because you don't put these people on a pedestal. You don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? You kind of seeing that now with all the slut hoes who upset that this girl say she like to get peed on. Well, guess what? If you're dealing with super rich niggas, that's what you're going to have to do. He going to piss on you. Because if somebody giving you $250,000 a month, and you can't believe he peeing on you. But you know what's funny? These women will say, oh, that's nasty that he pissing on her, but you'll let a nigga ejaculate on you and be ready for him to do it. So what's the difference? It's still bodily fluid. Oh, I guess it's different because the semen, urine is just, so nasty, but you'll take a man babies on your face, on your chest, and on your all this other. Get the hell out of here, man. That jump backwards as hell. You know them niggas in Dubai, they be doo-dooing on these women, man. They make camels doo-doo on these women. That's what the women go over there and do. Yeah, they get a little bit of change, but then this camel got the boo-boo on you. See, that's why you see all them women on the internet and you see the stuff they be doing. You don't know the stuff they got to do to get that and to be there. To be with them super rich dudes. Them dudes ain't looking at you like, oh, David, I love you so much. Oh, no. I'm tricking.
Handsomely.
I'm tricking handsomely, and I'm going to enjoy myself with my tricking, and this is what I want to do, and you going to do it. Indeed, Mother Sharon, I'm telling you now. When I seen these women talking about, oh, she nasty, he peeing on her. But I'm like, y'all let people ejaculate on you. And not just, oh, he dropped it on, he pulled out and it got on your leg. Like, no, y'all setting up for it.
You replace the toilet.
Come on, man.
I don't tell about that back office.
That just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just mentioning that because that's what the time people be on. This is what people be on now. No, that nigga called himself Brother Love. They called him P. Diddy because that nigga like P and his Diddy with men. They ain't had nothing to do with the P on the women. That's right, Mother Sharona. Mother Sharona says there's no balm in Gilead. Ain't no healing in this city. Yeah, man. Shoot, Gift, I wouldn't say necessarily on some demon time. They just nasty. You know what I'm saying? They just nasty. So you got people with sexual perversion. And that's your business. You know what I'm talking about? That's you. I ain't saying that one on that line, the married bed on the file. It's just some people just nasty. But see, these women is nasty not because of the stuff they doing, because you doing this strictly for monetary gain. I don't want to know. Remember Biggie put that on his album. She wanted me to boo-boo on her chest. After I boo-booed on her chest, because I had to do that, right? Now, he wasn't even that rich, but you got people who be on that.
That show you that ain't far.
No, you got people who be on that. Now, you got people who ain't got no money who just on that, like boo-boo on me. Yeah, you got a lot of here, man. It's a lot of women who get in public. Oh, that's nasty. In private, do all type of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's the same way. I already know that. Ain't no dude walking around looking for no woman talking about, can I urinate on you? That stuff women bring up. Man, I can tell you, unless the nigga's just like extremely freaky nasty, you ain't gonna meet too many dudes looking for women and asking her, can I urinate on you? That stuff that women be bringing up, and I think they get that because women watch a lot of porn. You know what I'm talking about? And from watching that porn, they see some stuff, and they be like, let's try something. Because contrary to popular belief, women watch just as much porn as men do. And that women want to emulate and simulate just as much things as they see on porn as men do. You know what I'm talking about? No, I got you. I just be wanting people to know people perverted out here. No, it ain't a new thing in the earth. Better guard your own heart before you catch yourself out here on some nasty stuff. But more importantly, I mentioned this stuff here because we got a lot of small children. You need to teach your children what's going on. That's why you have your children right, because you don't need to be sending them out here talking about go find you a husband and a wife, because he might find somebody who want him to pee on her. You're sending your children out here to get corrupted. You know how you know that? Because your people sent you out here with not a lick of understanding on the earth, and you got out here and you got corrupted. God forbid some of y'all done participated in some perversions. Now you sit back, you tell me, I'm going to take that to my grave.
I remember that, but I know I was in middle school.
Yeah, you better watch over.
Porn, yeah, porn.
That was some
Nah, that wasn't Black Web. That was
I don't know what that is.
I'm just saying.
That's a free game.
That's something you can know about.
Yeah, y'all nasty niggas at the house watching Cinemax. Come on, where you at, man? Now, all jokes aside, man, you got to guard your spirit out here, man. Who you come in contact with, who you talk to, the people that you look at. You know what I'm saying? I be telling you that stuff, the stuff you let your children watch. You better watch it before they watch it. That's right. Mother Sharona ain't lying. You got 3 generations in the club. Grandma, mama, and the daughter in there. You know how shameful that is, man? You partying and drinking with your grandma. Man, I just heard a lady do the video talking about a lot of these women act like that because they was raised by side chicks. She ain't lied. I've been told you that. You might want to go talk to your mama. You might be the daughter of a concubine. You might be a son of a concubine, and you ain't know it. It ain't hard to tell if your mama was a concubine or a disciplinary problem. And see, you can't sit back and look at it and be like, that's my mama. You're just going to have to accept the fact. Your mama was either a wife, a concubine, or a disciplinary problem. Because guess what? You know what are the hallmarks of what femininity is? Your ability to keep a man. If you can't keep a man, that means you trash as a woman. If you got a story that every man you've been with, you done left or he done left you, that means you suck. What? Why that funny? No, you ain't good at what you ain't good as a woman. You can't keep no man around. That's your whole duty in life. That's right. Got to break him. You got to separate yourself. Got to. Derek said he was just talking to my daughters about stuff like this yesterday. They didn't know some states allow children to get sex changes without parental consent. They never seen drag queens before. They didn't so some states allow legal marriage at 16. That's why I be mentioning. See, y'all think it's a game because you live in a bubble. You know what I'm talking about? And you're living in this bubble and you're not realizing how ugly it is out there. See, it's stuff that your children gonna see. Nigga, we ain't never went to school with a nigga who was a boy who talking about he a girl. Who want to be with a boy. He's a boy who think he a girl in a relationship with a boy. Nigga, you's a sissy. Dressed up like a girl. Your son got to go deal with that. Your daughter got to run into that. They were just talking about they put menstrual pads in all bathrooms because menstruation is not regulated to just females. Well, nigga, men can't menstruate. If I was to run across a little boy, he had a menstrual cycle, I would depart from his presence because he cannot be human. This is the world we living in. And I also mentioned it too because some of y'all know it because some of y'all went to school with little girls who were blowing on blow pops and I ain't about that candy in middle school. Around here got little boys rubbing on their groin in middle school. You can't just be sitting here, not my baby, and act like that junk ain't gonna happen. You better sit down and talk to him and tell him what's real and what ain't, or your daughter gonna come back and bring shame to your household. You know what I'm talking about? You can play with it if you want to and live in a bubble like everything's sweet, and your daughter come back mine come back pregnant, that nigga's getting out. You ain't coming in here no teenage parent. Nigga, I wasn't no teenage parent. That's not happening. That's how the grandma and the mama and the baby could be in the club together. Because the grandma had mama when she was 16. And guess what ends up happening? Mama had a baby at 16. That's how a lot of the peers who I went to school with, that's why they grandparents. Because they had all their kids when we was in they first two children when we was in high school. So when you had that, and that means you probably wasn't in a stable interaction with the father, which means y'all not going to be together, which means the likelihood of your offspring having a child in teenage years is just as high as when you did it. You know what I'm talking about? That's how that happens. We don't pay attention to that because we want to just stick our head in the sand like these are not actual realities of life, and you allow your children to make the same mistakes that you and the generation before you made because you too much of a coward to look them in the face and talk to them about something that make you uncomfortable. But you worry about your comfort level and they life on the line. They future on the line. My mother Sharona said the only big mama is Medea. Hopefully not the one on TV. That's what they call my grandma on my daddy's side. I know it's hard, but that's unreal though, because we know it because you see it. You see it. Yeah, you see it every day. We got to do something about it. Because guess what? It's a bunch of women. Listen to this bald head scallywag hoe who talking about she like to get pissed off. This hoe is trash. There's no redeeming qualities about that maggot hoe. I don't care nothing about her music. There's nothing redeeming about her or her whole friend. Ain't nothing redeeming about them hoes. Them hoes ain't to be looked up to. Them hoes ain't to be discussed. Niggas be bigging up Megan Thee Stallion. That hoe's trash. Would you want your daughter to be like them hoes? So then why would you even want the image of them hoes anywhere near your children? If you wouldn't want your daughter to grow up and be like her. Because guess what? When Cardi B said, I don't let my daughter listen to my music, I bet her daughter won't grow up and be like her. She said, I won't even let my daughter listen to my music. We'll ride around and let the children hear it all. Don't care. Don't care. Nigga big up rap. You got to sit back and look at whatever you promote. And you look like, yeah, you a fan of, so to speak. Would you want your child to be like this nigga? Because I wouldn't want my children to be like none of these niggas. These niggas suck booty holes, literally and figuratively. Come on, Phil.
Is he done with the Romans 12?
Yeah, we good. Well, Give say, let us honor our fathers and mothers by learning from and not repeating their mistakes. And that's real. You know, it's much easier to deal with children than you know, as Frederick Douglass say, you know, to walk with young men and to raise broken men. It's very, very difficult to deal in a community with people that got a community full of broken people. You know what I'm talking about? Then because these people get broken, you running up on them with some word and you wondering why they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm talking about? Because these people been done gave up that Yahuwah real because they've been broken. And they've been broken by bad decision making of people in their family. See, we ain't talking about, you know, just certain things in life that happen. Like, boy, you got to be real careful about what you're doing, man. Real careful about what you're doing. I told these women this the other day in that room, man. You know, people be bringing their children around any and everybody. You know how many kids I grew up with that was molested because of that? Because Mom Dukes was bringing niggas all in the house. Nigga touched on them. But we don't like to talk about that. I know too many girls I grew up with, boy, they got that, all got the same story. And little boys. And not being touched on by women. I know little boys who got, oh yeah, let's make him a man. This nigga 7, you nasty slut. Why is you touching on this little boy? You's a grown woman. How you even got sexually excited for a little boy? Come on, man. And you know what the sad part is, especially with black folks? Yeah, boy, he a man now. He was 9, he knocked down that 16-year-old. You was a buster for promoting that. That boy was assaulted. Yeah, and he said he took his son to the strip club at a young age, get him some coochie. That junk ain't cool. Boosie. Mother Shronus, I remember this woman at church was offended when this young lady called her mother. She said, I wasn't. Oh, that's the other thing, too. A lot of young, you know, and men do it, too, but especially ladies. Y'all don't want to, like they say, I got a homegirl. She a grandma. She talking about don't call her a grandma. I call her a grandma. No, you're a grandmother. You're a grandmother. Damn. Now, she ain't, the girl I'm talking about, she ain't that old. She ain't old as me. You know what I'm talking about? But she had the baby young, because that's my homeboy baby mama. You know what I'm saying? And of course, her daughter, guess what happened? She had a baby. So she was a grandmother before turning 40. Yeah, you got a lot of people like that. They don't want to be old. I ain't no grandmother. Shoot, you were popping that coochie young. You was grandmother, baby. Deal with it. I ain't calling you no grandma. That ain't no real word. You made that up. I'm not calling you that. Let them call you Mima. Mimi call you son. You the grandpa. But you know, they still trying to hold on to that. They don't want to accept that menopause has arrived. And it's time for you to slide in that state to be the glue of the family and to be a nurturer and teacher of everybody in the family like a grandma's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Your youth is over with. It's time for you to be the one of the, you know, the pillars in the house. like a grandmother's supposed to. Come on, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's right, mother. It's much honor in being the grandmother and the elder and the great grandmother and the elder of the family. As forth as the females is concerned. That's a great thing. Ain't nothing wrong. That's honorable. You know the crazy part is that we get upset that Yahuwah allow you to live long enough for you to be able to do that. So that you could be beneficial, so that you can sit in a room and know it's a multitude of people that came from your womb and your dedication to your family. Because at the end of the day, of a woman, if you ain't dedicated to your family, you are trash. You are useless. You are not even can be considered to be a wife or a woman if your number one priority is not to your family. That's supposed to be your number one priority. It's from the natural side. Of course, your number one priority should be Yahuwah. After that, your number one priority should be to your family. See, we don't have that no more. We don't have that no more, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see the community in the place and space that it's in, because ain't nobody dedicated to the family. It's got to be about the family. That's what it got to be about. And that's why he say preferring one to another, and that you one of another in the body. And that's what you see in Romans 12. We got many members in one body, and you know what I'm talking about? And one body and every member one of another. That's a family unit. So when you talking about a family unit, everything that you do is for the benefit of the family. So everything you do is supposed to be for the benefit of the body, for the elevation and strengthening of the family. If it's not about the family, then what is you in it for? Yeah, it makes no sense. Come on, man. Where you at?
Yeah, we done with Romans.
Yeah, it was Acts before that.
Finish that Acts. I ain't done with Acts. Yeah, we got Exodus 15. Come on, Act 5, man. I think we might have got to it. I think we might. Let me check. Let me look.
Verse 39.
Yeah, we good. Come on back over here to Exodus 15. Matter of fact, before you do that, read Zechariah 14:3 one more time so they can get the context while we in Exodus 15.
When I was saying about that, I was saying Revelation 12. That's what I was saying. I know we're talking about past.
Yeah, I know that we're talking about shoot.
I was making sure.
Yeah, that ain't the one.
Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle.
Mm-hmm.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem.
That's good. Now let's come back to Exodus 15. We probably about verse 4 or 5.
It says, Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts have cast into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
His chosen captains are also drowned in the Red Sea.
Drowned in the Red Sea.
The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone.
As a what?
As a stone.
What else?
Thy right hand, O Yahuwah, has become esteemed in power.
That's right.
Thy right hand, O Yahuwah, have dashed in pieces the enemy.
Dashed them.
And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee.
Mm-hmm.
Thou sendest forth thy wrath, consumed them as stubble.
As what?
As stubble.
Mm-hmm.
And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as a heap.
Mm-hmm.
The depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them.
That's what it is.
Thou didst blow with thy wind,
Mm-hmm.
The sea covered them. They sank as lead in many waters. Who is like thee, O Yahuwah, among the Elohim? Who is like thee, esteemed in Kadash, fearful in praise, doing wonders?
Mm-hmm.
You stretched out thy right hand, and the earth swallowed them.
Swallowed them.
Thou in your mercy hast led forth people which you have redeemed. You have guided them in thy strength into thy Kadash habitation. The people shall hear, be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine.
That's right.
Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed.
Amazed.
The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away.
Mm-hmm.
Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm, they shall be still as stone.
To your people.
Pass over.
To your people.
Pass over.
O Yahuwah.
Till the people pass over.
Whom you have purchased.
Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
The place Yahuwah has made thee to dwell in.
So of course, that's good. So of course, you know, That's letting you know what's going to happen at the end, because what he said, you've been bought with a what?
No.
So esteem Yahuwah in your what? In your body. Now, we good at Ezra 7? I mean, yeah, Ezra 7? Yeah, we were good at Ezra 7.
Before that, it was, I was holding Ezekiel 38. Before.
Yeah, I don't want it no more. It was in my brain. I don't want it no more. So let's go back to 2 Timothy 2 and 15. And again, right, give me the definitions of study, approved, and workman. We read Romans 12, Quran. The Greek definition for study in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15 says what?
Spadazo, that's to hasten, to make haste, give diligence, exert oneself, to endeavor, to labor, to study.
To labor and to study. What was approved one more time?
The chemos, that is accepted, pleasing, acceptable, approved, and tried.
So when it's tried. So one who is labored and studied will be tried by Yahuwah to see if he is a what? Under Elohim. So Elohim gonna try him through the study, through the instruction that he received. We done tell with workmen, that's a teacher that need not be ashamed. I want you to hear verse 16. He say, shun profane, vain babblings, for they will increase under more ungodliness. Give me vain babblings.
Panaphania, that is empty discussion.
Empty, worthless conversation.
Discussion of vain and useless matters.
Discussion of vain and useless matters.
Fruitless discussion.
A fruitless discussion. Now remember, right, with that fig tree, what Yahushua said about that fig tree? When he walked by that fig tree and he cursed it, why did he curse it? Because it ain't have no fruit on it. Then he say, what about these? He said, you know what? Give us time. So I'm going to tell y'all something too, man. I want y'all to know this here, man, because I don't want y'all to get caught up with this right here, right? Because a lot of people say this here, right? How many people have heard somebody say, as long as you got breath in your body, you got a chance to repent? I'm here to tell you that's a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm talking about? Just because you got breath in your body does not mean that you got time to repent. And whoever told you that is lying to you. And now how would you be able to prove that? Huh? Not even Saul, just because Saul was a different case. We got to take Saul, put him over here. That didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because Saul is a old Saul. That's what Quran just said too. Old Saul. See, Saul was just. What can you say about Saul? See, so the reason why I say Saul was, he only did that because he wasn't being responded to. Because Yahuwah had already told him, I don't fool with you. You know what I'm saying? He had already told him, I'm taking the kingdom from you and I'm giving it to a man more righteous than him. So he was here. You know what I'm talking about? But see, you got an instance in Psalms where he tell you that he'll give you over to your heart's desire and see what your end gonna be. So once he done that, guess what that is? You've been turned reprobate. And what gets you turned reprobate? Remember what it said in Jeremiah, reprobate silver, what they call it, they've been rejected of Yahuwah. What caused you to be rejected of Yahuwah? Because you did not like to retain Elohim in your knowledge, and you had pleasure in unrighteousness, and then he enumerated what those things were. You know what I'm talking about? Then he told you from the mouth of Thessalonians, Paul wrote to Thessalonians, which is really what Yahuwah said in Isaiah 65, which is really what Yahuwah said in Proverbs chapter 1 through Solomon, that if he called and you don't answer and you refuse knowledge, that he is going to reject you. And that when you go to seek him, you're not going to find him. So to have this thought process that you can just, as long as you breathing, you got an opportunity, that is a lie. The book don't tell you that. Hell, that parable with the 10 virgins show you that. Don't they show you that? Read it to him, man. Give me Matthew 25. Don't they show you that? I ain't understand nothing you just said.
I said that scripture they say to the living man's hope is referring to what?
What verse what you talking about?
To the living man's hope in Ecclesiastes.
Oh, I think you talking about you gonna have some much time. Yeah, with the dead dog. Yeah, I think he said, a dead dog is better than a living lion. Something along the line. But give me that Matthew 25:1, man. Listen to him. All right. Matter of fact, give me Isaiah 55 behind that too, man. Give me Isaiah 55 and behind that. Okay. Matthew 25:1. Listen to him.
It said, then shall the kingdom of Shalmahin be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise.
And 5 were what? They were what?
Foolish.
They were wise.
Foolish.
They were smart.
Foolish.
They was understanding.
Foolish.
Okay.
And they were foolish, took their lamps and took no oil.
They took no what?
No oil.
They ain't got no spirit with them, which means they ain't take no faith with them. Come on.
It says, but the wise took oil in their vessel with their lamps. It said, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
They did what?
Slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom comes, go out to meet him.
What you doing, man? What you smell like?
It said, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are going out.
Your lamps are what?
Going out.
Your lamps are what?
Going out. But the wise answered, saying, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go rather to them that sell. And
go to them that what?
That sell.
Go to them that what?
That sell.
You better go to them who got the word and get it.
And buy yourself.
Remember, buy the truth and what? They ain't go buy no word. They ain't go cop.
It's saying while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him into the marriage.
They were what?
They went in with him.
They were what?
It says
they were ready. They were ready.
They were ready. Yeah.
They were ready.
And they that were ready.
See, if you tell somebody, as long as you got breath, you ain't telling them to prepare themselves. Remember what he said? He said, man, if you say, my master delay is coming, I'm going to eat, drink, and beat the maid servants, he going to come at a time when you're not aware, and he going to appoint your portion with the hypocrites and the unbelievers. You can't tell, when you tell people as long as you got breath in their lungs, they got time, you set them up for failure because your life ain't nothing but a vapor. He said, while today is today, hear my voice. That's what the book say. Not long as you got breath. You lying to people when you tell them that. Because their hearts can get hardened over that time period. Then when their heart get hardened, it ain't gonna be able to get in. I ain't gonna say this here. I mean no disrespect. You know most of the people who you hear say that? Women and women raise men. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't no man gonna tell you, as long as you got breath, brother, you got time. You don't know how much time you got. You got today. You better do it today. Because you don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. Come on.
It says they went in with him to the marriage and the door was shut. Afterwards came also virgins saying, Master, Master, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not.
He said what?
Verily, verily say unto you, I know you not.
He said, boy, I don't know you. He said, boy, I don't know you. Don't Matthew say, don't this man say, everyone who hear my words and do them, I liken them to a man who built his house on what? What did he say about the people who didn't listen? That mean them when people thought they had time. Matter of fact, don't Amos tell you that he gonna make sure, get it for me. Give me Amos 8:8. What I had you with Matthew 25 after that, man? Isaiah 55, praise you.
It says, shall not the land tremble for this? For everyone mourneth that dwelleth therein. Mm-hmm. And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as the flood of Egypt.
Hold on. I know y'all ain't over there writing and drawing. I would hope y'all would be paying attention. Because it don't appear that you're paying attention. So I'm asking you, are you paying attention or are you drawing? Say what? I can't hear you. Y'all be quiet. What you say now? But you watching what she doing. So I'm saying that all three of you are complicit in the activity. I'm sitting here looking at y'all. Watch her. So you're complicit. You're accessories. You know how I know that? Because your eyes are darting to what she's doing. Renee, what are you doing? Huh? So I need y'all to do what? What I need y'all to do? All right then, tighten up on your backstroke. Get yourself together. Don't tease. Matter of fact, come here. You with the hat on and the red. Yeah, you. Elizabeth. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Come on. Go fix your face. Come here, Renee. Come on.
Oh, that was your move. Oh, dang, should have had it.
Come here, Renee. You trying to run away. You waiting the long way. Come here, Renee. Come on. Give me Isaiah 55:5, Sid.
You want to aim?
Oh, yeah, give me finish the aim.
It says, "For I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the mourning of an only, and the end thereof as a bitter day. Behold, the days come, said Yahuwah Elohim, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst.
Oh, my bad. We need 9 and 5. 9 and 8.
Okay, 9 and 5 or 9 and 8.
9 and 8.
It said, Behold, the eyes of Yahuwah are upon the sinful kingdom.
The eyes of Yahuwah are upon what?
The sinful kingdom.
What does he say?
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
This is Isaiah Amos 9 and 8. Come on.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
For lo, I will command, and I will shift the house of Yasharah among all nations, like the corn is shifted in the sea. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
All the sinners of my people shall what?
Die by the sword.
That say this evil
shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Okay, play with it. You can play with it if you want to. You know what I'm talking about? Don't play with that. Don't play with that. That's a dangerous place to be. Come on, Isaiah 55:5. Abigail.
Behold, you shall call a nation you know not, and nations knew not, you shall run unto you, because of Yahuwah Elohim, for the Kadash one of Yasharah, for he esteemed you. Seek you Yahuwah while he may be found.
Seek Yahuwah while he may be what?
Found.
Seek Yahuwah while he may be what?
Found. Call you upon him while he is near.
While he's what?
Near.
Come on.
Let the wicked forsake his way.
Let the wicked what?
Forsake his way.
Let him do what?
Forsake his way.
Let him hold to his way.
Forsake his way.
Go ahead.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return unto Yahuwah, and he will have mercy upon him into our Elohim.
He said, let him do what?
Return unto Yahuwah.
And he gonna have what?
Mercy. For he will abundantly pardon.
He will do what?
Abundantly pardon.
But see, the wicked man got to forsake his way, and he got to return. You can't sit around there and keep doing what you've been doing. Go ahead.
For my thoughts, not your thoughts.
And my ways?
Not your ways, my ways. Say Yahuwah.
That's good. Let me get y'all this Psalms 32 real fast. Listen to what he say. Blessed, transgression forgiven, sin covered. Baruch is the man whom Yahuwah impute not iniquity, and whose ruach is no guile. When I kept silence, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My moisture is turned into the drought of summer. I've acknowledged my sin unto you, and my iniquity have I not hid. I said I will confess my transgressions unto Yahuwah, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin, Selah. For this everyone that is godly pray unto you in a time that you may be found. Surely in the flood of great waters they shall not come near unto him. See, that's what people get it in where they lying to you. Because there's could be a time where Yahuwah won't be found. You think them people had, you think they had as long as they had breath in their lungs during the time of Noah? Man, once that ark closed, it was over for them. All that time they had walking around, I don't want to hear this junk. I don't want to hear this junk. You thought they had time in Sodom and Gomorrah? And I'm going to tell y'all something too, man. Just if y'all don't remember. You know, they were doing more in Sodom and Gomorrah than playing with people's booties. Y'all do know that, right? They were participating in extortion and oppression and idolatry and fornication and all manner of wickedness. It just wasn't booty hole playing they were doing right now. And they were also having ungodly conversations. What I mean on that is ungodly speeches that they were speaking against Yahuwah the whole time they were doing it. But I guess they had time too. Remember what Isaiah said? He said they where they sin like Sodom, they hide it not. Man, once you see somebody get to the point where they open with they sin and they don't care if you see it, well, them people's hearts is finished. See, I ain't talking about what most of y'all was in here doing. You were just living your life doing what you were doing. I'm talking about people, they open with what they do. See, you can use celebrities because it's more readily if you mention a nigga in your personal life that don't nobody in here know. You know what I'm talking about? See, if you mention a nigga like King Von, this nigga was open about being a murderer and reveled in it. And niggas had a nerve to say, God, why you took him? He's supposed to die. If you know the word, he's supposed to die. And you know what the crazy part is? Because niggas like their music, they didn't give a damn that the fact that this man actually murdered people who looked like you and took pride in it. And he took pride in it. And you say you love Yahuwah. And you take pride and say, don't the law tell you don't take no satisfaction in the murderer? Uh-oh. You can't take no satisfaction in no murderer. That man is a professed murderer. Laughing about it and joking about it. See, it's different for most rappers that you're familiar with who be lying in their records. A lot of these young boys in these records, these niggas are participating in these acts or close to people who are participating in these acts. You know what I'm talking about? Man, don't you understand something according to the word of you? How many murderers you know get to old age? Most of them niggas end up dead or in prison. Not all, but most. Because you know why? There's a punishment. And the ones who don't go to jail or get to prison, they might get a chance to repent, but a lot of the time, they on their way to hell. You know that we the only nationality of people who openly promote murder. Every nationality of people participate in murder. Let's not get it twisted. But they don't push it to the forefront as if that's representative of the men of their people. Because there's a Russian mafia. Them niggas killers. Niggas talk about Asian people that this, that, and the third. Well, they got a mafia system and them niggas is killers. I'm talking about stone cold killers. The Jewish got a mafia. Stone cold killers. You know what I'm talking about? But that's not what represent their people as a whole when they get pushed out there. They youth ain't bragging about being a mafia killer. These niggas want to be like a nigga who got 4 or 5 bodies under his belt. Yahuwah's not pleased with these people. Then we'll turn around talking about it rained on his funeral. I know he in heaven. That nigga going to hell. That nigga's an unrepentant murderer. A shedder of blood. It's blood on his hands. He's a sinner. He got to go. You ain't got no hell to cast nobody in. I ain't got to cast him. He cast himself. It's not like this nigga hit it, and guess what? How did he die? Participating in violence. Yeah, that nigga ain't no different. This nigga made a song talking about killing niggas and dead niggas, and guess what a nigga gonna do? You can't do that, man. You can't be around here promoting death, and because if you're promoting sin, you're promoting death. And eventually death gonna catch up with you. And you ain't got to be necessarily killing. You promoting sin. Boy, there's punishments for sin. No matter how you feel about R. Kelly and what you think he did or what you think he didn't do. Boy, that nigga was around here whoremongering. Let me not say whoremongering. Let me take whoremongering out and let me interject lasciviousness. This man was participating in a high level of lasciviousness and an inordinate affection. That's going to catch up with you. You understand what I'm telling you? That's going to catch up with you. Y'all forget what the book of Proverbs say about a transgressor? It's hard. It's hard living for a rebel. It's hard living for a rebel. Okay, we hear you. Now with R. Kelly, he might have a built-in excuse because he was molested. And he never got the proper training for that. And he allowed that insatiable lust to overtake him because some grown person touched on him. Because see, God forbid any of y'all ever been sexually assaulted. But I know women who get sexually assaulted, it's 2 things usually occur. They usually have a strong aversion to any type of sexual activity. You know what I'm talking about? And want nothing to do with it whatsoever. Or they hypersexual. And they didn't want to have sex all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's usually no middle ground. It's usually either or. It's very rarely that they just have a normal sexual mentality. You know what I'm talking about? So you take a nigga like that, got a lot of money, might have had lust in him already, and somebody done touched on it, that's over with. That's over with. He gonna have a problem. Now look at him. He got to do all this time in prison. But you know what? We don't care because a nigga entertains us. So then what does that say about us as a people? That a nigga can perform all manner of wickedness and we wouldn't care because he entertains us. Now, I also get it at the same token that you don't know these people personally, and some people can look at, I don't give a damn what he do. I like his movies. I don't care what he do. I like his music. I can get that too. Some people can make that separation. Most people don't, though. Most people invest in these people like you know them personally. You never met Robert Kelly. You don't know what he like to eat for breakfast. You don't know this man. You never had no conversation with this man. And when I say that, meaning you don't know the real person versus the character that he plays on TV. Because those are characters they playing on TV. They got a role to play. You know why? They got products to sell. Anybody you see on television selling you something. When you ever seen somebody get on TV that wasn't selling you something? And what do I mean by that? Not just selling you products. They selling you narratives. They selling you perspectives. They selling you products. They selling you all type of things. They selling you lifestyles. They selling you something. I've seen a bunch of grown people going off talking about the NFL is rigged. Well, stupid bastard is listed under entertainment. It's literally all sports leagues are literally listed under entertainment as far as federal designations is concerned. The NFL is a literal monopoly. It has an antitrust exemption. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. They don't pay taxes. Do you know if Shah Khan wanted to say, man, y'all better give me some money to fix this stadium or I'm going to leave, he can do it with no recompense. They do it all the time. That's how the Colts got in Indianapolis. That's how the Browns got in Baltimore and became the Ravens. That's how the Titans left Houston and became the Oilers. That's how that happened. Because they want your money to build these stadiums. And he ain't got to come out of pocket. And you ain't getting nothing but a t-shirt that you had to buy that go in his pocket. You know what I'm talking about? I literally heard this man say the other day that the owners look at all the money like it's their money and they don't want to give the players nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just talking about, see, I've already knew this, right? You know, they're in the playoffs right now, right? You know them boys don't get paid too much of nothing. Do you know they actually say the money for they get played in the playoffs come from the pool of revenue, so the players are paying themselves to play in the playoffs. The league is not paying them. The teams are not paying them. They're paying themselves. That's tough. That's tough. How many of you? I didn't know that the other day. Richard Sherman and the dude who, the head of the NFLPA, were talking about that. And he was like, literally, they got a pool of money that they use to play the players in the playoffs. The league and the teams do not pay them. They get 48% of the revenue. Out of that 48% of that revenue, they set money to the side to play the players in the playoffs, because if not, they would not get paid. Yeah, 48% of the revenue go to the players. Matter of fact, he actually even mentioned that before they redid the CBA, the NFL could have expanded the season to 19 games, and there was nothing the players could have did about it. So that's part of the reason why they agreed to a 17th game. They said until like 2011 or something like that, they could have expanded the season to 19 games, and the players just would have had to deal with it. Oh, yeah, it's a dirty game. Yes, the players are paying themselves to play in the playoffs. They don't get paid in the preseason. They don't get paid in the postseason. They only get paid in the regular season. And preseason and playoff games, the owners keep 100% of the revenue. That's why they didn't want to give up. That's why if they had to give up a preseason game, they wanted an extra regular season game to make up for the revenue. Because I said I'm only mentioning this because there's a lot of things that because you see people in athletics and on TV that you make assumptions about what they have and what they don't have, and what they get and what they don't get until you actually listen to these men and then they tell you what they get and what they not getting. Because a lot of them ain't getting what you think they get. The high-end players are getting a lot of money. But how many high-end players is? How many players you know getting Patrick Mahomes money? And they also stated, and we'll move on, they say guaranteed contracts are not something that's a Major League Baseball or NBA type of thing. That's what them boys just negotiate. They say the first one in the NBA was Larry Bird, and then after that, all the other players just was like, hey, man, I want a guaranteed contract. So it's not nothing that they can't get one in the NFL, them boys don't fight for it. You know, everything in life, it ain't what you, it's what you negotiate. I only mention all that so you don't live in this fantasy world matrix that you believe that this world, it ain't what you think it is. Because I guarantee you probably thought them boys might have get, or the boy probably get 20, 50,000. One of them boys only get a quarter of what they would get in a regular season game check in the playoffs. Them boys get like 20 bands. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what they tell you? It's for the ring. Man, take that ring and shove it up your behind. Give a damn about that ring. You know they say them niggas only get medical care for 5 years after they retired, and after that they got to pay for it. You think anybody gonna insure a nigga who been battering his body for 15 years? Yeah. They don't get a pension until they've been in the league for 5 years. The average NFL career is 3.5 years. No, for a playoff game.
That, like you said, that's not the top of their salary.
No, the
salary only for
the regular season. So your salary gets broke up in 17 game checks. You know what I'm talking about? Once that 17th game is over, you've been paid. You've been cashed out. You've been cashed out. Unless you got incentives and all that other stuff and roster bonuses and all. Oh, you've been cashed out. At the same token, like I told y'all about music artists. Most of them ain't got no money. No, I know it's compared to the average person, but the average person thinks that these people have way more money or are making way more money than they actually making. So then when you hear stories about how some of these dudes cheat or they don't do this or they end up flat broke, you amazed because you thought they had more than what they actually had. You know what I'm talking about? Or you thought they was making more than they were actually making. We done had that conversation before. Nigga Shaka Khan still out here touring. Anita Baker still out here touring. Anita Baker's supposed to retire. She had to come back. She need checks. Them people can't never stop. So though they might be making more money than the average person, they working just as long, or if not longer, than you is. Yeah, you know, Lauren Hill got to be out here shoot. She ain't doing nothing else. So I'm just trying to show you, like, even though the level of life they live in based off what they making is higher, they basically live in paycheck to paycheck just like everybody else. They just got a bigger check. That's it. Their lives ain't that much different than yours is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Their lives ain't that much different from yours. They just in a higher tax bracket with more expensive stuff around them, but their lives ain't much different than yours. They gonna work till they die. Come on, man. John Witherspoon was 77 years old when he died. He was working till he died. And not out of love for the craft. Yeah, absolutely. He set it up that you're going to forever be working. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Where you at? I think we good in Isaiah 55. What else you got?
You read the Psalm 32.
I read Psalm. I finished Psalm 32. Come back to 2 Timothy 2:15. Hold on. He said, was she actually on? I don't know if she was on the word specifically on at the time of that Unplugged album because I was in prison. But clearly, it was something of the word that was stirring through her at that particular time because that's what that whole album was pretty much about. And that's around the time that she said that she walked away from the music business. So, yeah, a lot of times when you see somebody walk away from the music business and they done seen some things and they like, boy, I need the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if she was in the word or not, but the lyrical content of what she was speaking on was greater than people who say they've been in the word for decades, whether they Christian or Hebrew. I can tell you that. Because word flowed out of her mouth quite effortlessly, to say the least. On that Unplugged album, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Come on, man. Verse 16, right? We already read that. Look at verse 17. 2 Timothy 2 and 17.
And their word will eat as do a canker, of
Definitely,
whom,
Quran.
of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, whom concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Nevertheless, the foundation of Elohim stands sure.
Having this seal,
the Lord know them that are his.
let everyone
that name the name of Mashiach depart from iniquity.
But in a great house,
there are not only vessels of gold and of silver,
but also of
wood and of earth,
some to honor,
some to dishonor.
If a man therefore
purge himself from these,
he shall be a vessel
unto honor,
sanctified,
and meet for the master's
prepared
use, unto every good work.
That's right. Listen to what he say. Flee also what?
Youthful lust.
Flee also what?
Youthful lust.
Give them youthful lust by definition. Go cut that junk out. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You're doing all that because you ain't getting what you want. So nobody want to hear all that. Relax yourself. Fix your face. Relax your face. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just want your way and you ain't getting it.
Youthful is neotericos. That is peculiar to an age of youth, youthful, younger, juvenile.
Juvenile. And then lust is obviously going to be lust, right? So when you look in the text and you say flee youthful lust, what would come to your mind? Now, of course, in your own life, you could look at some of the things that you might have lusted for. And when I say lust, right, I don't want your minds to go to sexual proclivities, if you would. You understand what I'm telling you? Because lust is just the things that you desire. You may have desired something at 18 that you didn't desire at 24. You know what I'm talking about? See, the youthful lust of Yasharal was they lust for comfort when they was in that wilderness. Remember, we had cucumbers, leeks, and melons. You know why? Because the Egyptians supplied everything that they needed. Remember, that's what he said, right? When we was in Egypt, we had this and we had that and we had this. This is the youthful lust that they had when they was coming of age. They were still a babe in the wilderness. You understand what I'm telling you? When you look in the wilderness, Quran said he desired much weed at 18. Much weed. I desired much marijuana, trees. You know, in the UK they got a lot of them dreads out there. So you got some sense of man, your brother. You know what I'm talking about? But you got to think about that, man. He said cannabis over there. You got some cannabis. The nigga walk up and say cannabis over here. This nigga's the police. Hey, that made me think about that picture of Russell Wilson when he had them boots on with them braids. Talking about niggas say he looked like an undercover. Can I get one weed? He definitely looked like the old dude trying to be too hard and he the police. They be going hard on bruh, boy. But from what some of them people say, he kind of deserved it. They say he got his own private office. Don't talk to his teammates. The teammates say you got to call his manager to talk to him. Shoot, Beast Mode said that. He said, man, I want to holler at dog, man. Richard Sherman say, call him. He said, man, you already know what's up with dog, man. He said, if I can't talk to you directly, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't calling. He said, I know. You got to call this manager to get in contact with him. I ain't dealing with no dude that I got to call a third party to talk to him. Saying they claiming his old lady got him like that. He looked like the type of beta male cuck that'll let a woman do him like that.
What you talking about? Fellas at work. Focus on your task and come home. Stupid. Focus on your task and come home.
And come home. Shoot, I mean, they've been reporting that all season because they were like, don't nobody like him.
How'd that work out the home? Do your job.
I just got to play with you.
Do your job.
So that's why you seen some of his teammates looking at him the way they were looking at him when he was sucking butt. Because if you playing well and we winning, niggas deal with that and they don't say nothing. When we lose it, this pussy nigga over here, man. Always in the song, suck, nigga. You know what I'm talking about?
Ain't no chemistry.
Yeah, that's how that boiled down. That let you know that. But see, I only mention that because of the images, because you know why they make the image of him like that? Because they trying to promote that with Sierra because they know that she was a bust down. So what is the narrative that they selling? That a bust down can get this nice young man to marry her and she can live happily ever after. And that's why this raggedy hoe came up with a song called Sierra's Prayer. Her prayers were not heard. You know why her prayers were not heard? Because that's somebody else's husband. That man been married before. You ain't know that? Yeah. Oh, shoot. But you know, they been always talking about the Sierra's Prayer, but somebody put that in their story talking about her dude. I said, damn, they made a song out of this? That's the devil's prayer. Yeah, I didn't know it was a song till either this week or I don't remember when I seen it, but a chick had it in her story. Sierra's Prayer. I had never knew it was a record. I just knew that she mentioned it. I mean, it ain't no different what DMX did. You put it on a record with a beat playing behind it, you'd have made you a record. She getting publishing on it.
Big fight.
Oh, not the slut prayer. I don't know. There's no prayer that you can say to get a billionaire. Now you got raggedy hoes in the hood praying for a billionaire. Ain't no billionaire coming to save you, ho. You know why I say that? Because you got to be where billionaires are at. See, a lot of people look at rich black dudes and be like, why they always get white women? This is what you don't understand. Only niggas get money and go back in the slums. You know what I'm talking about? Because I ain't going to lie to you. If I were from the hood and I got a lot of money, I'm not coming back around here. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not coming back around here. I'm gone. You know what I'm talking about? Does that mean I can't come back and do certain stuff in the net? Yeah, I can do all that, but I'm not coming out to hang out here. That's why I was doing what I was doing to get the hell away from here. Ain't nothing around here but death, misery, and hard times. What I want to keep coming around here for? Then on top of that, now people gonna be envious and jealous of me every time I come around here. So I can't even be comfortable. I'm food now. I'm not coming back around here, man. Especially if I ain't no gangster. I ain't no street. I don't owe you niggas nothing. I say that because guess what? That's what the book say, don't it? That you don't give a 1 Peter 4. That's all the reason why I said that, man. Say every woman wanted to know what she prayed to give. She ain't pray nothing. You know how she got Russell Wilson? Because Russell Wilson said he seen her in a music video and was lusting after her. That's how she got him. This nigga had an inordinate affection for this woman, so he was going to do anything he could do to get that woman. That's the same thing they said with Yo Gotti. You can't lust after no woman for no long. She already knows she got you. She ain't got to do nothing. That's the same thing Kanye West said about Kim Kardashian. He was lusting after that woman. So then, of course, women see that. Look at this beautiful love story. No, this nigga's a damn fool. Not because there's anything wrong with the woman, but because he's sitting here lusting after somebody. That's what make him a fool. This ain't got nothing to do with, this ain't nothing against Angela Simmons. It ain't nothing against Sierra. It ain't nothing against Kim Kardashian. We don't know these women. But when you as a grown man are lusting after a woman, that woman knows she can do whatever she want, however she want, whenever she want, because you have an overwhelming desire to be with her. So it doesn't matter how she behaves, what she does, how she moves, because you're going to go for it. That's what make them. That's all. It wasn't no prayer she had to pray. Now say with Puffy, this nigga's a billionaire. She in the music industry. He probably wanted to have sex with her. Tell that hoe over there to come here. That's all he got to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell him no. That's Puffy. See, notice I said he tell her come here. He ain't got to step to her. Hey, I want to talk. He ain't got to do none of that. She already know who he is and what it is when she see him. Nigga, they send for hoe. That hoe already. He want me. That's it. It's not the type of situation they be selling y'all where he's stepping to her, talking to her. Hey, baby, I want to. Nigga saying, this nigga got beat. I ain't got to do that. Nigga, you know who I am. Come on, man. Yeah, man, you know who I am. I'm not doing all that. they got a couple $1 billion. What I look like stepping to abroad? Not doing that. Man, check this out, man. Look here, man. The flight, my jet flying out at 2 o'clock. You sliding to what? That's what these boys are doing, man. But again, she's in the circles where those type of people are at. You can't meet somebody with that kind of bread unless you at where they at. And they not at where the hood hoes at. Man, when you dealing with people who got a lot of money, you're going to be around people with a lot of money. And usually there ain't a lot of black folks in them circles. 1 Peter 4:1. To just keep it a buck with you.
For as much then as the Mashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
Cease from it.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Elohim.
That's right.
For the time past of life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walk in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot.
So you think it's strange that you don't do what?
Run with them
to the same excess of riot. Notice, right, that you're not going back. Once you done left from the flesh and left from the world, you're not going back. I'm not coming back around. See, most of us ain't never got no, you know what a lot of black folks feel, right? You feel like you owe these people to still come around here and fool with them. I don't owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I come back around here, it's because I wanted to come back around here. But I'm not coming back around here because I feel like I owe these people. And if I don't, I ain't keeping it real and all this other stuff. Man, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that. And I don't care what you think or you got to say about me in regards to it. Like I say, I ain't from no slums. But best believe if I was from the slums and I got on, I'm not coming back around here, man. Not to hang out. Not to be like, oh, I'm keeping it real. I can still come back to the hood. What you coming back around here for?
no reason.
You ain't got no reason to be there. Oh, yeah. Say Puffy's got J-Lo. He saw her and Selena and said she could dance it. But see, that ain't no accomplishment according to them people in that line of work to catch J-Lo. Because let them people tell it, everybody done caught J-Lo like a nigga catch a cold. That's the other part that we don't be realizing in them circles, too. Them women been passed around. Them niggas, well, some of them like hand-me-downs, man. You just give your clothes to your little brother when you get older. I can't fit it no more, bro. You take it. And I'm only mentioning that because we have to strip away this false illusion that we have for these people. They not who we think they are. We need to stop looking at these people like that. They ain't nobody to look up to, but you're only looking up to them because they famous and they got money. Or you think they got money. Come on. Oh, Quran said they call weed green. Got some green? Yeah. Got some green. Man, I ain't never said that day in my life. Not no nigga said it though. Like this shit, shoot, man. You finna go get some reefer. No tree, man. You got that reefer? Go get that reefer. No. Well, you look like a nigga. You from New York, so you know you. No, that was in New York. No, I was finna say something else. They gonna clown it. That's the herb getting the herb. See, that's before time. You know what a herb was back in the day? I was thinking that was green. Buster. I heard that before. They say he's a herb getting some herb. Come on, man.
You sell first Peter?
Yeah, no, matter of fact, we good with that. So coming back over here to Jeremiah, man, 33:14.
Excuse me. It said, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Yahshua, unto the house of Judah. In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this wherewith she shall be called Yahuwah our righteousness. But thus says Yahuwah, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Yahshua. Neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of Yahuwah came to Jeremiah, saying, thus says Yahuwah, if ye can break my covenant of the day
and my covenant of the night,
and that there should not be day and night in their seasons, may also my covenant be broken with David, thy servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites and priests, my ministers.
Pause. We got to look at this here, right? So let me ask you this question, right? He said, if you can break my covenant with day and night, then my covenant with David would be broken. So it's two ways that this can be explained. And I want you to pause and listen to me well. I need you to show me how that covenant is going to be broken, because that covenant is going to be broken, whether you believe it or not. Shalom, my G. And then how that covenant is fulfilled and not broken. Well, how can the covenant be broken and fulfilled at the same time? That's for you to figure out right now at this moment and go. Because this type of information is like what's on this bottle that it say it's exclusive. You ain't finna. I hear you, bro. Yeah. You had to get another.
I don't even see how it can be broken. In the latter day.
Huh? Share what you got.
When the olive comes back, it ain't gonna be like the king of man.
And that would be correct.
I was just looking at trying to find a verse in Ezekiel.
So this is what I want you to do to show you how to be fulfilled. Come over here and give me Luke chapter 1. Is it Luke 1? Yeah, Luke 1 and 33. Come on, Sid. Luke 1 and 33. With haste. That boy's out.
And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
He shall do what?
Reign over the house of Jacob forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Come on.
And of his kingdom there shall be no end.
Come on.
Then said Mary unto the Malachim, how shall this be, seeing I know not a man?
Back it up. Well, keep on going. I didn't want to get where they say he sit on the throne of his father David.
And the Malachim answered and said unto her, the Ruach HaKadosh shall come upon you, and the power of the highest shall overshadow you.
That's right.
Therefore also that Kadosh thing which shall be born of you shall be called the son of Elohim.
That's right. Go ahead. I mean, if he ain't ready yet. Or if
He said he was saying this before that.
Well, back it up. Give me 29. Luke 1 and 29. Madeline, why you climbing on that couch, Madeline?
And when she saw, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this shall be. And the Malachim said unto her, fear not, Mary, you have found favor with Elohim.
Tubby man.
And behold, you shall conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushua. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And Yahuwah Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
Throne of his who?
His father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end.
So see how you gonna give me Isaiah 16 and 1.
It says, the burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Eror are forsaken. They shall be for flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress shall also cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the esteem of the children of Yasharal, said Yahuwah of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the esteem of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. And it shall be as the harvestman gathereth the corn and heapeth the ears with
That
his
don't
arm.
sound like nothing like Isaiah 16 and 1.
You said 7.
No, I didn't.
It says, send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land from Salah, the wilderness, unto the mountain of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that as a wandering bird
Hey, stop playing over there.
cast out the nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be as the fords of Arnon. Take counsel and execute judgment. Make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, beret, not before that wander. Let thine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. For the extortioner is at an end, and the spoiler ceases. The oppressors are consumed out of the land.
And mercy
Shall the throne be established
he shall sit upon it.
in truth, and the tabernacle of David
judging and seeking.
Say he gonna sit in on that throne in the house of David. That's what it say. Now, Sean, his answer is correct. So I didn't want you to show you that, right? So that's what his promise, right? Because he said he promised him to sit on that throne, right? Mm-hmm. I want you to go to me Revelation 3 and 21, sis. Matter of fact, before you do that, give me Matthew 20 and 20. You know, I heard another person today, right? We might look at it before we get out of here, man, talking about all the married, man. Somebody, again, was trying to say Mary Magdalene was Yahushua's old lady. And they knew that that was his old lady because she was out there with his mama when he was getting killed. That's what they said. He said, you know how the mama be with the aunties, you know, the old lady. I'm like, this man ain't had no old lady. But you know what? I tell y'all why people do this here, right? They want him to be like how we is. And what I mean by this here, right? I need you to understand what I mean by this here, right? This looks like I mentioned y'all the other day, and I ain't get a chance to mention that to them ladies on there, right? Because a lot of ladies be complaining about what dude be doing. Like I mentioned last night. The Lord was a different type of dude. He had a specific mission for a specific purpose to be done in a specific amount of time. He didn't have time nor care to be worried about no woman. So when you read that in Daniel, when they say that the beast, that man of sin would have no, see, they make that meaning, oh, he's a homosexual. No, the beast has a certain amount of time for a specific task. See, most women don't think that a man can be that singularly focused to where he don't care about your vagina. So when you meet a man like that, you ought to, oh, he got to be gay because he don't want to have sex with you. No, what he's trying to do is greater than the physical pleasure that he can get from your body. And that in reality, you're not that important to him in contrast to what it is that he's seeking to accomplish. But because most women are accustomed to niggas who don't have any drive, any vision, or any desire to accomplish anything, because these men are led by they wee-wee, that they don't know what it's like to meet a man who, I'm not concerned with giving all my masculine energy by climbing on top of you every damn night. So they don't know what to do with that. That's why most women are intimidated by a man that I mentioned to you that got his mind right, his spirit right, his physical body right, and his money right. Because now there's a different level of demand that's coming from him than a nigga who ain't got nothing going on. Because now you're going to actually have to be a real live benefit to this man, because it's not that he don't want a woman, but for you to come into what I got going on, it has to be beneficial to me. Because there's nothing extreme. Anytime a woman come on, the man is going to be giving more to that woman than she's going to be giving to him. So that means what you giving to me has to be at some one point I can appreciate in regards versus to what I'm giving to you. And your coochie is not in the top 5. Hell, it ain't even in the top 10. If you're dealing with a man who got his stuff together, that's not something that he rating at the top. It's not. That's what you rate at the top because you used to dealing with lower level men who that's important to them. Oh, I'm trying to smash her, boy. I'm trying to hit her. A man who got something going on. That's why I told you a nigga like Puffy can be like, hey, come here. If he want to have sex, he can have it when he want to, not because he pressed. He don't got this woman with him because, oh, I'm so in love. It's because I enjoy female company. I come do this type of stuff anyway. Whether you was with me or not, I'm coming over here to do this anyway. What I mean by that is, if I'm going to Cabo, I would go into Cabo whether you was with me or not. You get the benefit because that's where I'm going. Not because I'm doing this for you, because I was doing this before I met you. And when you meet a lot of women, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I helped him get some money. They don't know what to do with a dude who was getting money before he met you. I don't need you to help me get no money. Matter of fact, I need you to do this here because that's the price of entry to being in my life. That's what you should do if you're going to be here. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be in the Lord, guess what he said you should do? Keep my commandments. That's the price of entry. That's just to be here. That's nothing extra special. Now, again, this is not no knock on no women. This is just that I'm telling you that a lot of women are not. Look here, right? You got a lot of men. They ain't accustomed to no woman who don't give her vagina to everybody she see. They ain't accustomed to a woman who carry herself with a level of comportment, modesty, and respect. A lot of dudes are not used to a woman who don't walk around here showing her body off, her vaginal canal, her side boob, her top boob. booty cheeks hanging out, thighs hanging. These hoes go outside and draws now. Talking about that's a fit. You in lingerie outside with sneakers in Walmart. Women don't even wear jeans no more out here, man. They wear leggings every day. Your whole birth canal out every day. Yoga pants every day. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different type of level of man that she gonna get. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's not very, especially not young men. It's not very many men you're gonna meet and they got everything together. There's a different level of, like, yeah, your vagina and your looks ain't enough. It's not enough. You know what I'm talking about? No, that's not gonna do it for me. That can help you. Matter of fact, truth be told, a dude like that's not even approaching you. Because he don't have to. You know what I'm talking about? He don't have to. Once a man get himself to a certain point, they don't be around here running up hollering at women. They meet women who they run across in the day-to-day things that they do, and then, you know what I'm talking about, they link up like that. Yeah, he ain't around here hollering at them. You ain't never see no rich man who got his mind right and his spirit right going to holler at some women. Nah, man, he ain't want, oh, what's up, baby? You look good. Let me get your number. Nigga ain't doing all that. For what? You know why? Because 9 times out of 10, you knew who he was when he walked in the door. When you seen him. That's why you was there, because you heard he was coming. How do we know that? What Zacchaeus was up there on that tree for? Because he heard the Lord was coming, didn't he? The Lord didn't have to come to him and say, get what I got. He said, I heard about you. Boy, I knew you were coming. You got what I'm looking for. Now, of course, the Lord came through in a lot of cities and dropped word on them people, but most of the time, he didn't have to go step to them people. The people were stepping to him. Yeah, they were stepping to him. He wasn't stepping to them. Because he didn't have to. How many times you read in the text, Yahusha going up, stepping to people, talking about, hear what I'm talking about? Outside of him being in the temple, being in the street preaching, as a normal preacher would do. How many times you see him stepping to people, talking about, believe on me, get with me? Never. Not one time. Didn't Herod come looking for him? When he was with that woman at the well, he just let her know, baby, if you would have known who was in front of you, you would have been asking me for what I got, not me asking you for some water. Whole time she thought he was talking about water out of well. You know what I'm talking about? He told her straight up and down, you don't even know who I am, baby, because if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me. See, that's a different type of confidence, a different type of level of movement. Like I said, Zacchaeus was up there on that tree. Who came to, did he step to Mary and Lazarus' house, or did Mary come holler at him? Mary came and started washing his feet. He asked her to do that. We go on and on with the people he had. Did he go step to the Roman centurion, or did the Roman centurion step to him? Quran say, same around here. I seen a young girl walking down the street in just a jumper, barely covering her butt. No shorts, no leggings, no nothing. Twice I done seen. He said it must be a neutral. Oh, they've been doing that over here. Especially in Florida, all the temperature got to do is get to about 65 and the booty shorts coming out. No, that ain't cold. That ain't cold for no hoe. You know how I know they ain't cold for no hoe? Because when we was in Detroit, well, them hoes was out there half naked and it was brick. And when I say, I ain't talking about just a lot of women who pop coochie, because it's a lot of women go outside in inclement weather talking about they cute half naked. I know you've seen plenty of women in New York City half naked. It's cold as hell. All she got on is a trench coat. If that, trying to be cute. Your nipples frozen, baby. You should have put on some warmer clothes. And you know what the sad part is? They ain't being cute for damn dude. They being cute for women they don't even know. You ain't get cute for no dude. You wanna show your body. I'm smashing. Same way dudes when they was younger, boy. I'm gonna kill them with these kicks, boy. That's what women do coming out the door half naked. I'm gonna kill her with these titties. Man, nobody care nothing about that. Well, why else is they buying booties? Because you ain't buying no booties for no dudes. You blaming dudes for it. You ain't never heard no man in the history of manhood say, boy, she'll look good with a BBL. Nigga around here buying a whole booty. Buy a booty. Don't buy a booty. You should get liposuction. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you got a little extra belly, get you some liposuction. Don't buy no booty. You can go to the gym and build a booty. That stomach be hard to get rid of. You gonna drop some bread? Drop it on that. Yeah, that's what they said. Jess Hilarious did. Transferred the fat from her gut to her butt. That's the sad part. You were bad body before surgery. Now you got an attitude. Sit your, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear that. But boy, Lala used to be built like a teenage boy. All she had going on with it after she was pretty. That nigga was built like a teenage boy. Now look at you. You're 40 plus years old. Talking about you can't get no man. Should have stayed with your husband. That one thing a woman find out when she get old, when she used to be fine and she getting older. Man, them niggas ain't knocking down your door no more. They ain't knocking down your door no more. If you got a good dude, man, stay with. Now, of course, I know some people look at, he be cheating on her. She knew that nigga was gonna cheat on her. This is a rich young nigga. Yeah, you already got to know that. You got to know what. Don't marry somebody and you don't know what type of time they on before you marry them. Then you shocked. Yeah, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. And what I mean by, I'm not condoning this activity. I'm saying knowing what you're getting into. Don't get into a situation with somebody who you know that's how they moving and then get shocked when they move like that. You already knew that. So if that's not what you want to be involved with, don't get it. See, it's different if he told her, it ain't gonna be nobody but me and you, baby. Ain't gonna be nobody but me and you. And then he go do that. Okay, that nigga was wrong for that. But if he didn't tell you that, and you know he was, if that nigga was sliding and gliding before you got married, he gonna slide and glide out. And if you know that, and you don't want to deal with that, don't marry that. Now, of course, these people ain't in the word. These sinners, so them sinner problems. But the reason why I say that is now you 40 plus years old and you by yourself. But you want a man. But her problem was she wanted a man that she could control. You can't control a nigga who I was going to be this whether I'm with you or not. Matter of fact, I was this before I met you. You can't control that man. So that's why they want the man who ain't got nothing. So they feel like they had a hand in making him into who he is so that they can have control in how he moves. That's why they don't want the dude who over here he already built, because you can't control him. That's why they don't like the Lord. You can't control the Lord. That's why they try to make the Lord out in their own image and own likeness and make him be how they want him to be so that they can control him in their own mind. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, he love you no matter what you do. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Come on, man. Revelation 3 and 20.
Matthew 20 and 20.
Oh, yeah.
Something you wanted after.
Yeah, Revelation 3 and 20. Come on with Matthew 20 and 20. It's just to show that he got a throne. Matthew 20 and 20.
It says, then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons worshiping and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, what will you? And she said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on thy left in your kingdom.
See, that means he got a throne. But whose throne is it? Notice he said in your kingdom. That's the throne of his father David. Give me Revelation 3 and 20. Come on, Sid.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. To him that overcome will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down my father in his throne.
So notice he says sit in his throne. That's the throne of David. Let's look at it. We can see his throne. Sid. Give me one more, man. Give me Revelation 5 and 9, and then Ezekiel 1 and 25.
And they sung a new song, saying, you are worthy to take the book and to open the seals.
Or is it 6? Give me 6, man. Make sure. Oh.
It might be 5 and 7.
No, it ain't 5 and 7. Because it's at the end of the chapter. It's 6 and 16.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sit on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Hide us from him that sit on the throne and from the wrath of the who?
Of the Lamb.
For the great day of his wrath.
Has come.
Who gonna be able to what?
Stand.
Now come over here. What it is I just mentioned? Ezekiel 1:25.
It said there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood, had let down their wings, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne.
The likeness of a what?
Of a throne, as the appearance of sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance as a man above upon it. And I saw the color of amber.
Hey, stop playing over there.
As the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward.
Say it was the appearance of a who?
Say it was the appearance of the color of amber. And it was the appearance of
Give
fire.
Give him amber by definition. Y'all know what amber look like?
Bronze.
That's what's in amber. One of my favorite notes. It's brown, bronze looking type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It's resonance. We know fire got a brown orangish tinge. So it's letting you know that not only is he that your Elohim is a consuming fire, but that also that he is a brown, because then it say that he had feet as what? Polished brass and was burned in a fire. See, a lot of people like, that don't mean nothing. Come on, man. The man say Adam was made in his image and likeness. You think he just didn't make him in the image? Well, God is clear. People, you ever heard people say God is clear? Because he say he's a spirit, he's clear. The book don't tell you that. I understand why people say that, but you know why people say that? Because they have a thought process of what they done seen in movies and television, or how they represent what somebody, a spirit, would look like. You understand? But nobody actually knows because you never seen one.
You only can go off the text.
You only going off what the text say and what you creating in your mind. Because we know the text say Malachim appears what? As men. Because when they came to Lot thought those were men. When they came to Samson's parents, they thought the Malachim to the... How we know that? Because they say the Israelites black and brown-skinned people, right? Ruddy people, right? They thought that was a regular dude. When Mary seen Gabriel, she didn't know that was the Malachim. Till he told her that. She thought that was a man. Same thing with Zechariah. Did the Malachim meet him too? He didn't know that wasn't no Malachim. They thought those were regular people. When the apostles saw Yahusha, what did they thought they seen? A spirit. And what did he say? Spirit don't got flesh and blood like you see me got. But even before he was a spirit, thought he was. That's what Mary thought he was, a gardener. That's who Mary Magdalene thought he was. You know what I'm talking about? A regular man. So when people tell you that, it's just like they say, right? And that's not to castigate nobody. I'm just sitting here telling you people make stuff up. They make stuff up. Yeah, Daniel did say Gabriel came to him and he fell down to his face as dead. He did, because he thought he seen God. And he seen Gabriel look just like him, because the text is explaining Ezekiel is seeing a vision of Yahusha come from heaven. That's what he's seeing. And he's seen him have bronze skin and be a flaming fire or a flaming spirit, just like it said our Elohim is a consuming fire. He's seen him described just as he described himself. Because one thing, right, everybody like to read Revelation 1, but you know, we'll take you to which Revelation for his for him to talk about he looked like. To chapter 2, verse 17. Because he literally said what he looked like. Read it for him, Sid. Revelation 2 and 17. See, Revelation 1 is cool, but this one say, thus saith the son of Elohim. He talking. It's always funny. I never hear people mention that passage. Revelation 2 and 17 said, come on.
He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach saying to the churches. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna. Will give him a white stone, and in the white stone a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that received. And unto the Malachim of the church in Thyatira, right? These things say the son of Elohim, who have his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet like fine brass.
He said it. Now, what did he just say over here? That this man was bronze. That's what Ezekiel said he just seen. Come on back to Ezekiel chapter 1. Give me Daniel 9 and 21, Civic for Quran. You could probably make it 9 and 17. Come on. Matter of fact, let him read that 9 and 17. Come on, Civic. 9 and 17.
Now therefore, O our Elohim, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and cause your face to shine upon your sanctuary that is desolate, for the Lord's sake. O my Elohim, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and behold our desolations in the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you for our righteousness, but for your great mercies. O Yahuwah, hear, O Yahuwah, forgive. O Yahuwah, hearken and do. Defer not for your own sake. O my Elohim, for your city and your people are called by your name.
That's right.
And whilst I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Yasharal, and presenting my supplication before Yahuwah my Elohim for the Kadash mountain of my Elohim. Yea, whilst I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. And he informed and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I'm now come forth to give you skill and understanding. At the beginning of your supplication.
See, that's pause. Now I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna read this Daniel 8 and 15. It came to pass when I Daniel had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between Uli, which called and said, Gabriel, make this to understand the vision. So when he came near where I stood, when he came, I was afraid. I fell upon my face, but he said unto me, understand, O son of Adam, for at the time of the end, the vision. Now when he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face and touched towards the ground, and he touched me and set me upright. And when he seen this man, he's seen a man. That's what he's seen, the appearance of a man. So we can't be around here talking about spirits are clear, because the book don't say that. Now, whether they are or whether they're not, I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're not. What I'm saying is don't say that that's that, and you're basing that off the word. Because every time somebody seen a Malachim, they didn't see, when they seen somebody in a steam state, what it said it looked like? Light. Light. Every time it said you seen somebody in an esteemed state, they came as light. Remember, the book said wisdom calls a man face to what? When Moses came up on out that mountain, what his face was doing? When Yahushua transfigured on that mountain, what his face was doing? So they seen light. That's probably what they mean with being clear, but it's not clear, it's light. Why? Because Elohim is light and no part darkness. You understand? So that's why you got that. You understand what I'm talking about? It's not clearness, if you would. And again, this is not to focus on what the hue of their skin is. It's focusing on what's written. So you understand what's written, not what somebody necessarily is interjecting based off their personal thoughts, opinions, or perspectives. That's right. That's what it said in Daniel 12, that the wise shine bright as the light in the firmament. You know what I'm talking about? That's different. Because as a matter of fact, remember the book say, we don't even know how we're going to appear. But when we see him, we'll what? We'll see him as he is. Come on, Ezekiel.
It says, and above the firmament that was over their heads, the likeness of the throne as the appearance of
That's correct, dear.
And upon the likeness of the throne with the likeness of the appearance of the man above it. And I saw the color of amber as the appearance of fire round about.
That's right.
And from the appearance of his loin even upward, and from the appearance of his loin even downward.
That's right.
I saw as it was the appearance of fire, as it had brightness round about. As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so it was the appearance of brightness round about. This, the appearance of the likeness of the esteem of Yahuwah. And when I saw, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake.
That is good. So I didn't want you to see him coming on that throne, establishing the throne and ruling on the throne of David, because he said that if you could get rid of that covenant, then David won't have a man to sit on that throne, right? Now come and give me Revelation 21 and 1, and you could drop down to Revelation 21 and verse 24. 21 and 1, listen to it.
And I saw a new Shamahim and a new earth.
Remember, what did the book say? Till heaven and earth pass, one what? So no why. So once heaven and earth pass away, David's covenant is complete. Once heaven and earth pass away, Abraham's covenant is complete. Listen to it.
For the first Shamahim and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more seed.
Remember what he said, right? What we read in Isaiah 65:17. Everything in the new heaven and new earth, that everything that happened under the old shall not be what? Remember. Listen to it.
You want me to keep on and drop down? Okay. And I, John, saw the Kadash city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Elohim out of Shamahim, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Mm-hmm. And I heard a great voice out of Shamahim saying, behold, the tabernacle of Elohim with men.
If the house of Elohim is with men, guess what else is with men? The throne of the Father himself. Go ahead.
And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Elohim himself shall be with them, and be their Elohim.
Go ahead.
And Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Mm-hmm. There shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. Mm-hmm. Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Listen to it.
And he that sat upon the throne.
What he say? What?
Sat upon the throne.
No, the former things
are passed away. Behold, I make all things new.
Make all things what?
New.
All things what?
New. And he said unto me, right, for these words are true and faithful.
That's good. Give me verse 24. Will. Come on. We get out here. Revelation 21-24.
It says, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their esteem and honor unto it, and the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there.
Give me 21-20.
Okay, say, and the fifth sardonyx, and the sixth sardis, and the seventh chrysolinite, and the eighth beryl, and the ninth topaz, and the 10th chrysoprase, and the 11th jacinth, and the 12th amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was there one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. Mm-hmm. And I saw no temple therein for Yahuwah.
Saw no what?
I saw no temple there. For Yahuwah Elohim Almighty, and the Lamb are the temple of it. Mm-hmm. And the city had no need for sun, neither moon to shine in it, for the esteem of Elohim did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
Give me Revelation 22:1.
It says, and he showed me pure river of life, of water of life, clear as the crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street,
it said it was proceeding from what throne?
Proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb.
Because now this is his father's kingdom. This is the kingdom of heaven. David ain't got no throne in the kingdom of heaven. Right. David got a throne in the kingdom of men, or in the kingdom of Mashiach. Remember, we didn't discuss that before. Them two different kingdoms. The Father's kingdom don't come in till heaven and earth pass.
All right.
That's why he said right here in this verse right here, if you could by any means break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, that there should not be day and night in their season, then my covenant with David should be broken, that he won't have a man to reign on his throne. Well, who breaking his covenant with the day and the night? Elohim himself. He said, if you can break it, well, you can't break it. So therefore, that covenant that Yahushua will reign on the throne of his father David can't be broken. But who make it a new heaven, a new earth? The Father himself. And then who give up the, don't Paul tell you that the Son will give up the kingdom to the Father? Yeah, that covenant with day and night been broken, because guess what? Didn't it just say it won't be no day and no night there? I don't need no man from David's seed to reign on the throne at this point. Don't need it to happen. I don't need no Levites neither. Why? Because it'll be just like the Garden of Eden, or redoing of creation, if you would. I'm going to read this one more passage over here in this Jeremiah 33, verse 25. Thus saith Yahuwah, if my covenant not with day and night, if I have not appointed the ordinances of Shamahim and Arats, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, that I will not take of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. So guess what that means? As long as that sun come up when it's supposed to come up, and that sun go down when it's supposed to go down, well, he coming to get you. You know what I'm talking about? But once that stop, that means everything's completed. That means everything we can see in creation, man, all the way down has been done. You know what I'm talking about? Because what's the last thing to get done on that 6th day? Everybody getting made new. Did he say he make all things new? Then it's rest, it's over with. Because he's going to make a new heaven and a new earth. Remember, nothing under the new heaven and new earth is going to be remembered of what occurred during the past. Why are we going to be talking about David's throne if ain't nothing going to be remembered? Why are we going to be talking about an Abrahamic covenant, a Davidic? We ain't talking about none of that stuff. You ain't talking about none of that. Look here, man. When I say we ain't talking about none of that, I'm talking about none of that. You ain't going to be around here having conversations about no athletes, about no rappers, about nothing that happened under that, because this is a place where only righteousness dwell. This is a place where we will only mention the righteousness of Yahuwah, and that is it. There'll be no talk of any iniquity, no lies, no death, no tears, no pain, no suffering. None of these things are going to occur, nor anything that's attached to that. Because it's always good that we paying attention to the new heaven and new earth stuff so that you can see the difference between the two. Because remember, we know in the Mashiach kingdom, niggas getting killed. We know in Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog is getting killed. And you burying their bodies under that same heaven and same earth. But when the Father come and that new heaven and new earth get made, ain't nobody dying. Ain't no wars getting fought. Because what did he tell them to do right after they killed Gog and Magog? What did he told everybody to do? Huh? He told them to burn all the weapons up. Turn your swords into plowshares. Set them on fire. Let me show it to you. Come over here to Ezekiel 38.
I thought that was when he said burn the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ain't want to talk about the body burying, because that's definitely going down. You definitely burying some bodies for a good season. It's Ezekiel 39, pardon me. I got Ezekiel 39 and 8. Behold, it is come and it is done. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you verse 1 on the screen. Therefore, son of Adam, prophesy against Gog, and say, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I'm against you, O Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn you back and leave the sixth part of you, and will cause you to come up from the north parts, and will bring you upon the mountains of Yasharal. And I will smite your bow out of your left hand, and will cause your arrows to fall out of your right hand. You shall fall upon the mountains of Yasharal, you and all your bands, and the people that's with you. And I will give you unto the ravenous birds of every sort, the beasts of the field to be devoured. You shall fall upon the open field, for I have spoken, saith Yahuwah. And I will send fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I, Yahuwah. So I will make my Kadash name known in the midst of my people Yasharal, and I will not pollute my Kadash name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahuwah, the Kadash one in Yasharal, behold, it is come, and it is done, saith Yahuwah Elohim. This, the day whereof I've spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Yasharal shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows, the arrows, the handstaves, and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down out of the forest. They shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them. Ain't no more weapons. What you need weapons for in New Jerusalem? What you gonna need bow and arrows for? What you gonna need guns for? That's not happening.
7 years.
Burn them up and rob them and spoil them. Take all their stuff. They can't stop you. Because remember, during the kingdom of Mashiach, the nation's still dwelling in their spots. They still got their stuff. And we coming through. Guess what? And what's that's like? When you spoil the Egyptians, let me get that, let me get that, let me get that. I need all that up off you. Yeah, you're going to be destitute. I don't care who don't like it. Take it up with the Lord. See, that's what people's problem is. I don't agree with that. Nigga, I don't give a damn what you agree with. Take it up with Yahuwah when you see him. That's what you do. You know what the funnier part to me too, man, where a lot of people, some people get upset because they don't believe in God. Like, that's supposed to bother me. That don't bother me. I don't believe in that Bible. That's a liar's book. My feelings supposed to be hurt because you going to hell? That don't hurt me in the least bit. If you find your feelings being hurt because a nigga told you they don't want the word, you too emotionally invested in this person. Because that don't bother me none. If you can't see this great gift in front of you to the point that you're going to cut yourself off from it, that's a loss for you. So you don't want eternal life, Pete? Oh, what type of God got rules? I heard somebody say, type of God got rules. Oh, if you don't do this. But I say, but if Mr. Charlie say you don't do this, you going to jail, you damn sure do it. I know it. Because you love Mr. Charlie. You want to hang on Mr. Charlie teeth all the days of your life. That's why I don't respect none of these niggas. Because the same stuff they say about you, you do it to a man. You do it to niggas jumping up and down waiting on the W-2. You don't even know. Well, these people finna drop 10 inches of ungreediness in your butthole. These people just went over their debt ceiling again. And they say they're not going to pass no legislation to the summertime to raise it. And that they take it out of these people, postal workers, retirement funds, and all the like to make sure they got money to not so that they don't default on their debts. This is the type of game that they play. But I bet you weren't paying attention to that. I told everybody that yesterday when the notification came. Say, boy, they had $31.4 trillion debt ceiling. Now, this ain't the first time they done hit the debt ceiling. What it is they have to pass legislation to raise it. You know what I'm talking about? But they don't want to do it right now because usually they do it instantaneously or before it hit it. They said they're going to let this junk slide till June. Till June. Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know what's going to come from that, but I know that that's not good. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about $31 trillion worth of debt. This is what they said why they ain't going to pass it. Because they say the Republicans, amen, Brother Reynolds, they said they want it to be set up to where if they raise the debt ceiling, that spending got to get slashed. Which only makes sense. If you got too much debt, you can't keep spending what you've been spending. But see, this is what I think I done told you this before. This is the game they play when they give you a Republican and a Democrat. See, when they give you a Democrat, they raise taxes and they spend a lot of money. When they give you a Republican, they lower taxes and they cut spending. But when you do these in the inverse, you're really getting done like a porn star. You're really getting hit in both holes. You know what I'm talking about? It's really what's happening. You don't really realize it because you're going about your day-to-day life like it's all good. But you don't realize is that is you is getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. You know what I'm talking about? Until just like if you keep squeezing an orange in your hand, eventually it slips out and, you know, it falls apart. And then they're going to come up with something else. Now, what that something else is, I do not speak to know. I really don't give a damn. You know what I'm talking about? But, yeah, just don't be shocked, though. Because these people playing games. You know what I'm talking about? And these people lives you talking about. Oh, my goodness. Let's say, put away. Sex is Not Marriage, Volume 2. Put away the cheating husband. See, that's bad talk right there to be telling a woman to do that with them. See, a woman can't put away her husband. She can leave. You can't divorce your husband. You know why? Because you can't divorce your whore. You can leave it. Now I'm going to show y'all an example. How in the text you know that, right? What it say about the priest from Bethlehem, Yehuda. You know who I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about? The priest from Bethlehem, Yehuda. The wife who got cut up. She didn't divorce him. She left. And went back to her daddy. She left. She ain't divorcing. You won't read nowhere in the text no woman divorcing no man. You know what I'm talking about? But of course, you know, that was a different time. Because see, there was a brother, and some women said that John the other week, yeah, you got to pay the dowry price. Nigga, I'm not paying no dowry. That's for virgins. But that junk is amazing to me. 30-year-old women talking about somebody paying the dowry for them. Or talking about, y'all ain't even talking to none of these women daddies for your marriage. That who ain't never met her daddy. You asking somebody, so what I'm supposed to go on an expedition to help her find her daddy? She don't know this nigga. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the premise. But I'm like this here, right? That's what you do for young women. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you do for young women. When she's 18, 19, 20 years old, you can't get no 25, 30-year-old woman who done pushed out churn talking about I'm finna go show daddy for you. How am I gonna pay a dowry price? She done pushed out a baby. Or 2, or 3. I'm paying a dowry. You know how we know that ain't the case? Did Boaz pay a dowry for Ruth? Ooh. So didn't. did you know why Boaz ain't paying dowry for Ruth? Oh, Derek said it's going to continue aid with inflation and the currency crisis. He said he learned about this process in economics. They're going to hold it off. Everything going to skyrocket in price. We're going to see some type of bailout plan, which is somehow. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Because she was a widow. She had a man before. This is what people don't understand. You can't, a woman who been, when we went in the land and overtook it, and a woman had been with a man before, what did the law say had to be done to this woman? You had to kill her. She done been with a man. We ain't got no use for her. We ain't got no use for her. It sounds harsh, but that's war stuff. War is different than just regular living, understand? Make sure you understand the separation between the two. Because I know that sounds harsh. We talking about war. War. Y'all ain't never been involved in no war. You understand what I'm telling you? So that's different. We're not talking about everyday life. Like, oh, so you saying kill a woman who done had sex? No. We're talking about if you was coming in the land and you were going to conquer it, they did not see the point of keeping a woman who had sex with another man. You know what I'm talking about? So she ended up getting killed. They only kept the virgin. Because number one, you got to deal with this woman who's attached to this other man. She could be plotting to kill you. Her and her children. If you've ever seen a Kung Fu movie, you should know that. You know what I'm talking about? Killed my father. He plotting for 20 years to kill everybody. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, you don't pay no dowry for no woman who ain't no virgin. Dowries is strictly for virgins. And I don't even know why people say that when the law's clear on that. That's for virgins. That's literally a bride price. That's a virgin price. Well, you got to be a special type of stupid. You go pay a nigga dowry price and this woman got 3-4 kids already. And I ain't saying that if she didn't have it from different men, she could have been married and her husband died. You know what I'm talking about? You don't do that. You stupid. You stupid. Absolutely not. You pay a dowry for, guess what? And if we were going to be paying a dowry, guess who's supposed to be paying it? I ain't supposed to pay it. My daddy's supposed to pay that. So my daddy's supposed to get with her daddy, and my daddy's supposed to pay him. I ain't supposed to pay for it. Ain't that what the book say? That's how that go. Because what's the tradition in America for a wedding? Who's supposed to pay for it? The daddy's supposed to pay for it. The husband ain't supposed to come out of pocket for that. The money he's supposed to have is supposed to just, for whatever the case may be. Tradition in America say your father's supposed to pay for the wedding. The man you with ain't supposed to pay for that. But usually what happens in this society, who end up paying for it? That man. Your daddy's supposed to pay that price. I guarantee you, if your daddy had to pay them $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, a lot of these women wouldn't be asking for it. But you want him to pay for it, but you don't want your daddy to pay for it. That's what traditions say. The husband ain't supposed to pay nothing himself for nothing. That's all supposed to be parent activity. But see, we don't want to do that. That's why I don't be believing none of this stuff people be talking about, because you take bits and pieces of the parts that you like instead of just doing it exactly like he said to do it. But guess what? If little Johnny wanted his son to marry one of his daughters, Johnny got to pay him. He don't pay him. He got to pay the dowry, and he would pay for the feast. That's how that works. He paying for the feast. Get this nigga out my house. Go cleave to your husband. Be one wife. Be one flesh. Y'all have a good time. You know what I'm talking about? Go build your husband's house. I got 4 more to get rid of. That's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about if we gonna do it like it say. I told, well, I ain't paying no dowry price for the grown woman. And she been with another man. That doesn't make sense. See, this is what you don't understand. Mashiach had a dowry price. That's why you got to be born again. That's why the book say you a changed virgin, so that he can feel comfortable in paying that price. That's why when the Ruach is found on you, that's the evidence that you a virgin. That's the evidence that you a virgin. That's your tokens of virginity, as it say. The Ruach is the tokens that you a chaste virgin. So when he paid the dowry price with his blood, he can show, hey, this ain't no unclean woman I ain't got to get rid of. They don't want to deal with that. Let's get on off here, man. We had 2 hours. Hallelujah for Yahweh Shai the word, man. I appreciate y'all time this evening to bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. See, niggas don't want to hear that door. That you got to become. That's why you got to get born again. So you a virgin. Priest can't marry no whore. You got to become one yourself. And you got to have tokens. But that's why I mentioned that last night. They having another conversation. Man, I'm not going to be around here talking about the sex and marriage. You already know. Oh, ABT. That's part 2. They had this one a couple weeks ago. Absolute Bible truth. They had just did a part 1 about 2 weeks ago. But you know, the reason why they do it in all fairness. Yeah, they do it in all fairness because they be going at one West doctrine. So the sex and marriage is a one West teaching. You know what I'm talking about? So that's really why they do it, because he has a strong disdain for one West teaching. I know Mother Shalona, y'all with it, man. We're going to be back on Wednesday, though. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all with it, man. I'm going to get with y'all on Wednesday, and we're going to do it again. All right, Clubhouse, man. We're going to roll out of here.